Hey, was good, was good, was good. A little bit late. Funny story. It's not really that funny, but I think it's funny. No, look in the Guilty Gear chat if you want. DY. Let's do this real quick. So we're just getting everything started. What's good, Craig? Good. So we did put in a score that was like 1 billion to 2. And I normally use the, the ELO website for Salty. So I normally use that for seeding. But because there was like put in 1 billion to 2 on the seeding website when I updated it, because I didn't realize they'd done that last week, it actually just blew up the website for like half an hour. Which meant that I could not seed. Well, I could from memory, but I always feel like if I seed from memory, that's like a little bit sketchy, at least. I'm way too biased with all these tournaments. They kind of flow together a bit. But we're here, that's all that matters. We made it. 2.0 is looking kind of interesting. I hope they fix Dizzy. That's more like number 1. Apparently Dizzy is like alright right now, but still my number 1 thing that I want to see is Dizzy. Okay. So we are almost done with the entire setup. Phew. Yeah, exactly. I feel like Dizzy is in a weird spot. Exactly. That's how I feel. Where even the overlays having a hard time. What is today, man? Please. All I want is drive. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think Dizzy is in a weird spot, right? It's mostly what I'm thinking about Dizzy. Where they need to do something to character. Because I think Dizzy, as a concept, character I would like to play, and now that we, of course, which I never hoped that we were getting, but never getting justice. We're never getting justice. I know that's Michael's. Maybe, it's time. New season, new me, right? Maybe it is time that I will try Elphelt. I mean, I've never been like an Axel card. I just bothered to. Although I would say that I do Personas in general games, right? Alright. I was actually an Elphelt player in Xrd. There you go. I hated the Jolts and Axel. I thought he looked lame. But now I respect the Jolts, right? And speaking of Jolts, what's good?
Hello. I'm good. How's it going?
Well, we're a little bit late, but I think everything
Wow.
that will be alright. It's not the first time I've been late.
People understand. People are waiting. We have to log in for the 2.0. Like today is chill, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So with that in mind, we got Cassie for the first matchup against Zulck. I'm not quite sure about Cassie. That's not somebody that I know really. They casino on Discord.
I think she's a Baiken, but I might be wrong.
Meltdown is 2 days after the patch. Same with Maya Monthly, and I think we're committing to just rocking it.
Oh, Craig is there. Hello, Craig. Yep. I told Craig that I need to go to intermediates to commentate because we have to jab. Just to jab, literally.
Got both players on here. Love to see it. So one Ram. Where's Tekken? I mean, I think Season 3 is better than Season 2, let's be real, alright? But I also think that I don't think. I just haven't had time, really, is the boring truth.
Yeah. It's like, how it seems is like it's better than Season 2, but not better enough.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no, in the right way, right? Not exactly where we want it to be. But speaking of where we want to be, of course, I feel like this game, right?
Yippers.
Well, we won't know for sure until we get the patch, of course. But removing Wildesol, I think, is a very good step in the right direction.
Definitely. It's crazy that they went for it, honestly. Like, it's crazy that they decided to actually get rid of a full mechanic.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's great. Also, you know, I feel like that's something that more games shouldn't be afraid to do, because you could hear that people cheered so hard when they said, "Hey, we're removing this mechanic."
I mean, I think people would cheer it even harder if they say like, "Oh, we're going to nerf 6XL in Ramblethal."
Yeah.
People really want that one. Honestly, don't know how this matchup goes, by the way.
This match, I feel like it should be fairly even, right?
Yeah.
But I have no idea.
I think like because what you said, like it should be even, but before it was it's even and they are both broken. Now Nago is an honest mid tier, so maybe he has a bit more trouble.
Yeah.
FS, it's true AAAA matchup, like in the sense of FS into FS into FS. Nago does it multiple times. Ram does FS Dauda.
Yeah.
Ooh, the throw there. Didn't get the burst though. Bite this, not allowed to bite this. And gets thrown into the corner and dies. I want to go for Zulck. Skibidi? What is that, right? From what I know, it's slightly in Ram's favor, but only by an inch. I could say that. Like, I could believe if anyone says that it's slightly for Nago, slightly for Ram, I'm gonna be for sure. You're the analyst.
Yeah. Don't believe the Tekken player. Don't believe the Tekken player. Tell it. It's bias.
Wait, what if they play Tekken 7? Is that not even, or Tekken?
It's a Kuma player, so.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Well, I guess Panda.
Wow, it doesn't prove. Combo. Menacing 5H from Nago, but wasn't in blood free, so Zulck sends a cassie through the wall. One more hit. Nago is really squishy when he's in all this blood, and it's gonna be shown right now as he dies.
On for Zulck.
Yeah. Zulck is a very strong player, so it makes sense, right?
They did top 8 in some other brackets, so interesting to the least. By the way, today's bracket, maybe because it's 2.0 or something, but looking really good.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a little like it's not that many more than usual, right? It's just a couple more, but it's still very nice.
Yeah. Definitely next week and maybe the week after, even if we are not in 2.0. No, the week after will be already. Yeah, week after will be. No, will be actually just before 2.0. Yeah, I think those 2 weeks are gonna be actually a lot of people be like, okay, let's say goodbye to season 4.
Yeah,
Now
it can kind of go both ways, I feel like, because I've tried for
Yeah.
other games, right, that on the last tournament before the patch, right, it's usually it is usually just not a lot of people signing up because they're so tired of the patch.
Yeah, that's fair. And we've been with this season 4 for like since Lucy, and that's been a while. And by the way, you mentioned that season 3 was like in Tekken was like season 2 but better, which is not enough.
Yeah.
I think with the Strive, season 4 is kind of the same. Like season 4 was better than season 3. I think most people would agree with that one. But maybe we need a bit more.
Yeah, I think for this game, right, a lot of people, they have a lot of when you're thinking back, you're thinking season 2, that was a good time, right? And I feel like a lot of people are like, some like season 2, some like season 2.5. But that's why we are, of course, going to go to 2.0, because it's going to be season 2.0, right?
Exactly.
Season.
About 2.0, I've heard everything. Like people saying that it was the best shit ever. People saying I was dying from a 5k from May. That was shit. So it's a polarizing season. And season 1, of course, like that was the Wild West.
Yeah.
The first patch of season 4 was the worst thing ever for this game. I can agree with that.
Gonna get the blue combo.
Ooh. Someone wasn't listening. The first. Can we do something? We're healthy on blood. We can do a bit more, not more.
Oh no, Cassie in a lot of trouble with BRC, and that's gonna do it.
Cassie tried to throw, but it wasn't enough, and that will cause the death of the snow that falls. Was Nagoriyuki? So yeah, the snowflake that falls.
Right. So game 1. I mean, luckily for us, it was a bit of a fast one because we are a little late.
Yeah, bracket to be developing.
So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It is really gonna be interesting what they're doing, right, with the game.
Yeah.
I think everyone's just kind of, we stuck kind of in anticipation a little bit. Yeah, season-ending patches were mostly good, but some of the start of season patches were sketchy, right?
Yeah. Definitely. Like I think that but what was worse, season 4.0 or season before the Hoff? Before the Hoff XP, it was a mess. But even then, season 3.0 was the YAZOO that was everything. It was how good are you with YAZOO? That's how good you are. It was Ram top 1 and Chipp top 2.
Yeah.
Because of how broken they were using the YAZOO. So I don't know. So yeah, let's wait for 2.0.5. Also, really looking forward to this match. These are two interesting players, honestly. Burger, I don't think I've seen her around that much, but every time I've seen her, like, this player is showing like really good stuff. And TheFacebreaker has been from a long time already. Like, it's not a new player, but still, it's always nice.
Yeah, I'm unsure if I've ever seen Burger actually offline. She is Danish.
A fellow. Oh, triple CS. We got the old Johnny combos. Still in season 3, I promise.
Yeah, you know what? You don't even have to learn the new combos, right? Because now
yeah,
got a new patch. Almost probably gonna
for what, right?
A lot different. Yeah.
Yeah. Good thing that I never really liked the White Assault, so a lot of conversions of White Assault, it was one of my things that, the double 6p, devilish. Okay, Burger loves the 6p, who doesn't?
Go.
Overhead. Look what you go. all reliable Johnny FS gets the counter hit and the follow-up gets the kill. 120 rounds. Let's see who gets the first game.
All tied up here. He's probably trying to put on some pressure. But no!
What do you mean the Redroom? Is that allowed?
It's allowed. Ooh. Look at that.
Instant overhead. Good one again. Johnny looking as good as always. How many overheads do you want? Yes, all of them, please. TheFacebreaker doing a really good job blocking those. Cut me once, cut me twice, but the third and the fourth you won't, but you will grab me though.
Yep.
And Evil Burger gets the first game. They're asking BSF when.
I was at VSF once. It was kind of not that fun. It was good. It was good. The event was good, but man, there was like no casual setups, and Birmingham sucks.
First impressions can be lasting.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward like to go to BSF sometime because of Birmingham. So now I'm not looking so forward to it because of that.
I just remember I went to the like going to the venue from the station. It smelled more like weed than Amsterdam. Okay, that's fine, right? There was also like a crack pipe on the floor somewhere and syringes and stuff. That was fine, whatever. And then we roll up to the venue day one and see somebody get arrested in the park outside the venue.
Okay, eventually it stops being fine. Yeah, I agree.
We had some really good food there, though. We also went to a kind of like a crack house. Because it was fun. If anyone from the UK know, like, what's like called the billiard houses or like the pool houses or whatever they're called, basically like a crack house where people smoke weed. It was fun. It was like a good cultural experience.
Sounds like a good thing.
Yeah, we did have some banger food, and the Tekken people took us to like some really good Pakistani places. It was great.
I fucking love that. That type of food, like Pakistani. I want to like taste so much because I know Indian, I know Moroccan, and I know like I think that's mostly it. And all of those are like so like Moroccan food is so it's pure gap. It's pure gap. It's crazy. So I want to know more. That as Burger gets the second. Burger is not from Morocco. I will tell you that. Burger is. People will say Germany. People will say USA. But she's getting a 2-0 now.
Yep. Yeah, it's looking very nicely here for Evil Burger. And of course, she said that she would go to Monty now. So it's a set in stone.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Oh, good start there. Broken White Assault. Thank God Daisuke is going to save us. I'm going to put his vision back into the game.
Yeah.
Slow neutral. I mean, these both characters want to control and want to play patient. Oh, but patient got indeed rewarded here for TheFacebreaker. Have to fix the evil mix of Bridget. FS gets out of there. No space crash will be allowed.
Counter.
But it's fine.
Yeah, and of course, look at that tension on the side as well for Burger here. Evil Burger on the evil character. But wait a second, TheFacebreaker not out of it.
Wasting a lot of meter trying to do these air shenanigans, but not getting the kill. Maybe that's gonna come back, beat her in the ass. One more hit.
No, she does it. I think it's interesting. I've met TheFacebreaker, but I've never met Evil Burger, which we have 2 locals or 3 locals in Denmark only, like a couple hours apart. So.
Damn. Okay, but Evil Burger hasn't been around that much. I think like she's kind of new. Not really sure. I definitely haven't seen her around like until like 2 months. So I don't know how much of a season 4 spawn she is. Too many JDs.
Yeah. Oh, very nice. Gonna whip
Punishes.
punish right. Yeah. Gonna go downstairs here. A lot of tension for both, but Evil Burger in a bit of trouble.
Yep. Positive bonus for Bridget. Blue White Assault will be used. One more hit is all she needs. If we could get it.
Just FDing, but yeah.
Oh! The old reliable 6P wasn't so reliable.
Evil Burger has been active in Salty at least since June of last year.
Ooh, that's a while.
Probably has been around for longer than that. That's good. Still quite a long time. But Facebreaker, of course, been here for even longer, but now still in a lot of trouble. Another throw here. Stuck in the corner. What are you gonna do?
Ooh, gets out with 2K. Back throw incident.
Just seeing how many throws we can loop in one round here. I think Street Fighter 6 right now. Oh no!
Oh. Facebreaker was really good with the high lows, but wasn't enough.
Sorry, we're talking sumo.
Okay. Oh, true. Kirishima, the energy gives return next match. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, we've been into this whole thing. When you turn 30, suddenly you get into sumo. It's like a thing.
Oh, so next year for me. Okay, got it.
Yeah. And it's great. It's great. So you can look forward to sumo era.
One good thing about the 30s. Did you get hooked into sumo? Now I think we're watching Redroom versus Kenon.
Yes. So Red Room seeded high today because Red Room got second place last week.
Yep. Actually, we got the top 1 and the top 2. Scarf in Red Room. And the third actually. So because we also have RE.V.O.
Yeah, we're just doing the full top 3. Yeah. Red Room here and Kenon. Kenon, another, of course, very strong player, taking out Volta. Tough.
Damn. They were kind of similar seated, and I think they're both really strong players. So it could have gone both ways, and it was indeed a 3-2 for Kenon.
Yeah.
And we have another good match now because I'm really curious about how are the Asuka players going to develop, seeing the changes that the card is gonna get. We'll have to see.
Yeah. It is.
I wonder. No, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. I just wonder here how some of the changes impact certain characters. Again, Wild Assault is very big as well for certain matchups, right? I feel like it's like such an indirect buff to some Axel matchups, for instance.
For example, yeah. And basically, I think like characters like I think the really good users of Wild Assault, like the premium users, like we really need this, are the ones that used the Wild Assault instead of their own resources. Like Goldlewis using Wild Assault instead of using Danger, or Sin using Wild Assault instead of Stamina and such. It was like another way to go around those. Even Asuka himself could do some of that by using Wild Assault to get more mana, for example. So we will see how that develops. Redroom 9 now is especially looking really strong. As always, Baiken not having the best of times. You can't parry the cubes, sadly. So we have to find another ways. Oh, God! Actually got countered on the 5D. One more hit, Redroom looking pretty good.
Look at Meg. Oh no, now it's scary. Wait a second.
Yep. Oh, where is the thing? Counter parry. Slow neutral and JS. The empty jump JS with no air dash catches the actual instant air dash attempt from Kenon. Overhead so fast. Using things only. And you have the speed stuff, so now it's time to play some Yu-Gi-Oh! No cubes though. You can play your monsters. And speed stuff is out already. No parries have been good for Kenon's part because that mid parry in between there. After he goes in. Whereas he gets the hit and 2H will connect. Thrown, tethered. Double block. And whereas he gets out of there. Nice. Nice bait on the parry there. Oh! Gets the hit there. Still looking good on mana, but the HP is becoming a problem slowly. Kenon needs one more hit maybe? And he gets it.
Yeah, good stuff, Kenon. Tying it up here, of course, 1-1. Let's see who's gonna take that game one. The anti-air coming out from redroom, sorry.
Big punch there. Big meatball. Another big meatball. Let me get back to my arpeggio. Another arpeggio for you. Back to back. All the time in the world. We got the auto refill. And that is first game for redroom. What is expecting? Like in the end, redroom is a really strong player. So we expect him to be dominant in this type of scenarios. But still, Kenon did put a good fight. It was still last round in this first game. So let's see what happens in the next ones.
Yeah, so 1-0, and again, is the expected here. I think what's unexpected is Kenon doing this well. But even then, Kenon is a very strong player, so we'll have to see.
Yes. Not surprised at all. If anything, it's a good sign. Oh, but Asuka though, really hard to deal for Baiken. Baiken wants you to come closer so she can use all her good tools like FS and 2H even. I mean, depends on how you see it. And Asuka is not gonna come closer at all. It's gonna keep sending you Qs and killing you from quite distance. Kabari though is still working wonders. Nice block, but it still gets hit on the positive range there. The range up, yes. Running really low on mana, this actually could kill. And it does. Always impressive to see how little HP does Asuka have without the mana.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair, right?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I would love if he actually got rebalanced in that sense.
I mean, again, there's a lot of things with the balance where I'm just very interested in seeing how it goes, right?
I honestly always thought that this version of Asuka that is so centered around these long turns wasn't what they were aiming for. I would be weirded out if they were aiming for these long Asuka turns.
Yeah.
And I think if they changed that to be Asuka be more of a, okay, I make this spell and this spell creates this situation and I can actually chain a lot of spells. This spell creates this situation, what are you gonna do about it? And let's see what do I do about it. You know, much more paused and much more slower. So let's see if that's the way Asuka goes in the next patch. We'll see. Same way the Happy Game Alpha. Interesting. And as redroom gets another hit. Now looking really good. Has the super and will use it really well. You go with positive and high knockdown. Man is looking flawless and the amount of stealth is actually really good. The meatball goes, gets the wall break with super. Another positive again.
And we got looking, you know, one round away here from being one round away from another 3-0. So, yeah, get caught by the cube there, and it is going to be set point.
Green cubes can be the death devil. And we have those now, so really hard to deal with. We got the auto mana regen. We got the one arpeggio. We got this bit cube sitting in hand. Catch this there. And this might be it actually. No, doesn't get the 6H. Blitz. Ends it. Actually, I call it Blitz, but I don't know if it is Blitz. What I know is that redroom 130, but I don't know the name of that spell.
You know what? We don't have to know either. You know, that's a job of
yeah,
the,
that is true. Of the nerds.
Yeah, exactly. We just know, is it a cube? Yes, no. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Red Room
That's
looking
for Red Rooms.
looking really good. Gas for Red Room, and us to not remember exactly. Looking really good. Red Room that is one win away from getting to top 8.
And looking at the bracket now, of course, somehow, some way we have.
Wow.
It's been so fast that we now actually are ahead of schedule. Impressively enough.
We chose. You perfectly chose the matches that were going to be the fastest, but it were too fast even.
Yeah. So they've been too fast. So now we got to wait just to. Oh well, never mind. Actually, I'm a genius, and I chose the matches where exactly now we have the next match coming up. So.
Nice. Oh, the Salkazko, yeah.
Yeah. So Salkazko up against Scripter. So. Very interesting match here. Of course, Scripter has been on the Venom for a long time, which is interesting. See if we're going to get that Venom again today.
Bit of a toxic relationship with Sol.
Yeah.
I've seen on Twitter Scripter going like, I'm not gonna play Sol anymore, I'm gonna play Venom, and then saying, oh, I miss my Sol, I miss my Y-Throw, and now he's saying a relationship with Venom has ended. So
Okay.
Quite the conundrum. I wouldn't want to be Sol or Venom in this situation. You don't want to have someone playing with your heart like that. So yeah, we will have to see.
Yeah. Have to see indeed how that works out. Yes.
Salkazko lately has been looking really, really good on the Anji. Especially good.
Yeah, and that's someone that's been having some really good results, as you said. Always been around, but been doing really well recently now. Moving up quite a lot on the salty rankings. So Anji, of course, now also a different beast, right? Oh, we do have the Venom. So if you don't know, of course, the guy Scripter had a different name before, had insane execution on Soul, and somebody accused him of scripting, so he renamed his name to Scripter.
I knew many people that were actually saying that he was scripting because it was, some of the stuff was so crazy. Like to this day, I think that they're two different persons. I mean, still, I see him play now, and sometimes I'm like, is that a real person? Those IVs are not real. And then eventually you learn that every Soul bad guy has incredible execution, incredible IVs for some reason. So yeah. By the way, looking amazingly good. Almost took the perfect. One more hit away for Scripter for Wrath. And gets it.
And see, this is a matchup where I have no idea how it goes.
If I would have to guess based on archetypes, I mean, I was gonna say that Scripter does a really good job. I mean, Venom does a really good job by keeping Anji away, but how good is the spin? Is the always question. So, yeah, no, we're looking at the balls. Like Anji doesn't even feel so good with the balls, which is kind of ironic. So we'll have to see. And this could be the kill. Oh, fails the combo after the combo grab. Salkazko gets turned now. sets up with projectile. Jump gets out of there, but Salkazko keeps turn. A lot of meter to work with on both ends. Dark Angel going one way, but it's not gonna be needed anymore because the bow that was flying does kill Salkazko, and Scripter gets the first game.
So, I also feel like there's a there's like one thing, right? Meeting Venom, and then there's meeting Scripter's Venom, because we're talking about this matchup is rare, right? But Venom at this level is very rare.
In EMEA, I don't think there is another one. And the next one, there is a big gap. At least of the people that are currently. For Blind was also a really good Venom, but I think Blind isn't playing at all. So yeah, really good block on the loader. Doesn't get the biggest punish though. Oh, Salkazko. Oh, just the hit. The burst now because of the 2B on defense. There we go, the IVs that Scripter is known for. Tries to get away with the EAD, but no. Away. Double spin. How much can you spin? How much can you dance, Anji? 5H hits there. How many spins are we going to see? All of them probably. Oh, you try to jump Anji. Anji says go, and Anji says I will kill you for that. See you in the next round.
Yep.
This one is one.
So Salkazko fighting back here. We might finally get a match here. Gonna get the throw, okay. And then now it's time to just eat that set play.
Yep. Can you dance? How much can you dance Salkazko through the... Enough to dance, enough to get the full combo. This could... No, doesn't get the full conversion there. Doesn't get the wall break, but it still turn. No punish there, saving the BRC. Dances. Spin's looking really annoying, actually, for the Venom set play. Let's see if Scripter can use this turn to make something happen, but the parry! Not allowed. There are 30 active frames of my parry that will, and each one of them can kill you. So be careful.
Yep. And that's, I feel like how it can go, right? Very easily there. Anji, of course, the parry. Just such an active move. It does feel annoying, right? You're trying to throw your zoning tools on the screen. It's got this blue guy dancing at you, and it's like, feels bad.
Literally, it spins your projectile, and you're like, what do you mean spin? Since when are there three, like, another dimension? You're playing in 2D. No, Anji doesn't. You play something because he wants. Oh. So far, we have one game each. Both of the games were really convincing for each player, so interesting. We will have another one of those, or we have a more battle one. We'll see. So far, right now, Scripter looking really well on this one. Doesn't get those, but oh, the parry doesn't connect though. Triggers, but doesn't connect. Oh, that Dark Angel is gonna catch the Fujin. This could kill. RoboKai failed. No one. Be careful when you buy him in the season 2. I mean, sorry, in Strike 2.0, because suddenly he can miss. So be careful. 60 catch really there. Really good combo there for Anji.
Oh, those a throw far away from hitting. We're gonna pressure in again, throwing out those pull balls.
Oh, but it gets there though. Butterfly goes in, low, BNC to make it safe, overhead.
Yeah, oh, what a throw break though. And again, we just see the spin. Please.
You're not gonna touch me. I'm either gonna spin or I'm going to go burst, but you're not gonna touch this Japanese fan player. Oh, the air throw on the fans, so good.
And burst right back here from Scripter. Let's see, can we just get it this round? Ooh, one hit away. Ooh, Salkazko, what a play, but it's not enough.
In another game for Scripter, but this one was battled. Even though it was 2-0 rounds-wise, it was still hard fought by both players.
Yeah. What do you think Salkazko has done here, right? Because I feel like it's really Salkazko that's changed stuff up to make it way more even.
I'm surprised that the spin into koi, into the fish, is working so well. I'm really surprised. And I think that basically Salkazko is both. That's the way that he's winning a space better. And at the point that he's winning that space, Scripter is not as comfortable. And then the jumps are coming, and Salkazko is catching the jumps and stuff like that. Actually, by the way, really surprising, the tech that we saw from Scripter. That tech, on that air tech, was really good because it was basically predicting that Salkazko was gonna do the right play. So yeah, but yeah, as we see, that those spins are making Salkazko win so much space, and Scripter having a hard time fighting for that space. Oh, tries to break that with the run-up throw, but fails because of the backdash. Really good dashboard there. Spin is working kinda, but not really. Really good jump by Salkazko. Butterfly goes in. Low gets blocked. Another low. We got PRC. We got thrown though. Salkazko with burst available, but Dark Angel is on top of him. Oh, gets hit by the high-low. That's something you want to hear. See that is being better in this one match. Salkazko does get the throw. Doesn't go for the high-low.
By the overhead. PRC and yeah, back to ground we go. We just see the pressure here from Salkazko. It's so hard to get out. She's stuck here and yeah, doesn't manage to do it.
Trying to throw, but the CS of the PRC was too fast. Nice block there. Full screen to go. Koi is not good enough. But again, fails.
Uh-oh. What is that gonna work?
Yes,
Yes, it is.
Oh, trades, but it's favorable for Scripter.
I've never seen a super do so little damage though.
Yeah, it's one of those that is double combo grab. The text again, and it gets thrown. You can spin the balls, you can spin hits, but you cannot spin good old throw.
That is, of course, counterplay. It's that you gotta call out, yeah, I should say, by getting that throw on there. So very good stuff by Scripter. Gonna move on. We'll fight either Scarfed or Boss Cypher. But until we get there, it's gonna be a Goose and it's gonna be a Vena.
Ooh. More Johnny and more Asuka.
Yep.
Interesting. Vena is known for being really good with air stalls and always presenting to be really hard to catch in the air and using that time to actually refill resources, draw different spells. So it will be really interesting to see if Goose has anything to deal with that air stall, because Misfinder can be good, but it's a little bit risky. Or maybe just don't let Vena jump at all. With Johnny can maybe make the play with both the Misfinder and the FS and the 5H, which can kill all the cubes in the string.
So Goose is gonna take a while, and while Goose is taking a while, we could take a little look at our match arena. I would say, you know, I've not been talking about it at all today, and you guys have kind of been doing a good job already.
Nice.
But of course, we could have way more codes claimed than we have right now. So we've got 32 codes claimed. Thank you very much, Emnich, Soul and Life, Oskma. Thank you very much to Onnings, Fun in Elphelt, Velaskov, Marisa, Yaker, Lucaro, everyone who claimed the code so far. Got 18 claimed. Thank you, Lapsus. Appreciate it. Vena. but we still have 30 of them left. So at least before we get into our top 8, Katanana, legend. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Blink.
A pleasure.
Yeah. So 28. If we at least could get it down to 25, so we will at least be tied with the other shift for claim codes. That'd be great. But $25.50 on here for that is good, but it could be looking even better here.
Yep. I mean, be careful because there's a chance that Scarfed wins the whole thing, and we don't want to give money to cheap players. They don't deserve it. So be mindful of that. But I mean, there are other really good players that do deserve the money. So if you would be so kind, please go into the Maturino and claim for the codes, please.
Surely Scarfed would never win. Surely.
Nah. He's seeded first just because he's handsome.
You know, none of these fraudulent chip players could ever win the tournament. Not online.
Exactly.
Never online.
Exactly. I think Chipp has gotten more results online than offline. We need the lag. We need the other person to not be able to react to the evil shenanigans that we do.
So we're just getting started.
Scarfed did win against Cypher. 3-2, quite the again close matchup.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, right? Cypher's somebody as well that's gotten a lot better.
Definitely.
Scarfed, you're carried
don't have to
online
tell
and
me.
offline, okay, sharp.
It's easier. I think offline you can react to Milia. I've seen the truth. If you have enough caffeine in your body, you can either react to Milia or die for a heart attack. One of the two.
You know, how many Axel players did we see at the finals? Exactly 0. AKA Axel players are the only ones who's not carried in this game.
Exactly. Axel player are honest and mid-tier. But speaking of honest and mid-tier, we have Goose versus Vena right now.
Interesting matchup. And as you said, it's all about can Goose shut down Vena, can Goose shut down some of those cubes mid-range, and right now it's looking very good.
This matchup has been said to be all over the place. I've heard Asuka say that dealing with Johnny's is really hard, and Johnny saying that they can't really go through cubes, so the biggest down player wins. Everyone, like, I think both are losing in this matchup. So no credentials to any of the players, just only the guys. 6P catches the first and Ronstar. Venom not looking so good on the hand department, but here comes the Elphelt. It gets thrown though. 6K catches there. That's another option that we can do. Oh, nice combo with 6H into super. Through the wall you go. Not much mana for Vena. Tries to backdash but gets caught by the misfiner. YRC gets out of there to the Goose jumps. Tries to jump it, running with the 2S. It's not good enough. We're seeing those misfiners though. Blue cubes, all reliable. So many good cards and at the same time so many bad cards. Vena only needs one turn. What do you mean super there? That was a crazy call by Goose. Oh, and calls the flex shield, doesn't get the kill but gets it on the next Oki.
Right. Yeah, Goose, another one who's really gotten a lot better these last couple tournaments, right? Maybe for the last half a year even. Somebody where, Johnny was really strong, then Johnny got nerfed and is still doing good, right? So
yeah. I think Goose has done better with the weaker Johnny, with nerfed Johnny than with proper Johnny. But really good call out on the Goldberg there. Another one. Better
in.
snap, it's not allowed. Blue is not fast enough. It might be 11, but it's not 0. And you're gonna pay the price. Go through the wall. That's my name, Jonathan.
Jonathan?
It is Jonathan, right? From John?
I have no idea.
Or, I mean, what else?
Guy named Johnny, you know.
Yeah, I mean, the term.
It's probably, yeah, I would assume Johnny is an abbreviation of Jonathan. So.
Jonah J. Jameson. Oh, this is John. John killed the gear. That's it.
Yeah,
Another one.
exactly.
John Chaser is
Yeah, he could be
Having
named
mine.
John, yeah.
Jesse and James.
John Bird? Yeah, I could see that. John Bird is good.
John, I like John. White Assault. Every time I see a White Assault, I'm like, my spider sense activates. Like, oh, you're not gonna be able to do that in 3 weeks.
Yeah, gonna cue that meme from Sword Art Online with the sword missing, you know? You're gonna try and press your Wild Assault for like the first week online, you're gonna be like, what?
That happened with me as well in the first weeks of this patch, when it was like, oh wait, I do FS into White Assault and it's not my turn? What the fuck? Yeah.
My game's bugged. What's wrong?
My game's back. Someone is cheating on my copy. It's like that Goose gets another game.
Who's looking really, really solid again here, and Vena needs to change something up, but again, it feels like Vena hasn't really been able to get a foothold, I would say, in this match, right? It's just been very one-sided so far, with Vena just stuck in the corner.
Yeah, it seems like Goose has downloaded what Vena wants to do and been playing to counter that, and Vena hasn't been able to change the layer, to change what they do. Oh, let's see if now we get some Vena action, some Yu-Gi-Oh! Good draw so far. That staff is annoying to deal with. Nice block by Goose. Checks with it to be. Oh, the staff is still there. Another arpeggio. And this second one you don't see. Full tension, which means you go through the wall with positive for Vena.
So Vena now with a very good chance here to take the round, gonna send out a lot of cubes. Yeah, what are you really gonna do here, right?
Oh, yeah. What you gonna do when the cubes come for you? You try to bolt and you die.
See, I recently learned that apparently the Asuka does not have to crank the QCFs. You just have to hold it and press the buttons.
Yes. Oh wait, really?
Yeah, I
I'm
can't
dumb.
believe that.
I'm just learning Asuka now, and I now know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently that shortcut is there for Asuka, and I'm so mad because I was also trying to learn Asuka, and I was like, man, I gotta do like 1 billion border circles, and apparently you don't. You just press the buttons.
Oh my! So you go into cast a spell, and it's like that's it.
Yeah.
Oh.
You just hold forward, I believe. Yeah. Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I
so
now I feel dumb, but yeah. But Vena does know the shortcut, we guess. So that's why got the game, puts the 1-2. Let's see if he can get another one.
You know what? I choose to believe that Vena is cranking that QCF every time.
It's gonna end up with the fingers hurting and everything.
Yeah,
all the quarter circles.
Got to do it for the culture, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I have to do the records with Chipp, and I have to do the 3/4 circles, you know. It's only fair. That would be the most, like, lame change. I'm like, oh, we are going to add a shortcut to the records, so you don't have to do all the quarter circles. If you do one, you're good.
So, yeah, Vena, signs of life here.
Yeah.
The Goose here in the corner.
Oh, tried to YRC, but it's not good.
Yeah, work there, and Vena just going full pressure mode right here.
Yeah. All over the place, teleporting behind, teleporting to the mid again to get behind. Just tries to get out of there. No matter. Not looking. The hand of Vena right now not looking so good. Double stab but no cubes. Well, there comes a big cube. Yep. Never mind. No mana though. One more hit. You don't need spells. You don't need a lucky hit.
Yeah, but you do need that mana, right? Which you don't have any more of right now, so you're gonna not want to be hit, but it doesn't matter.
The JP isn't enough. The JK actually, but the 5H is. And then catches. Oh, you can break rings that close with 6B, but now the deflection will get thrown.
I got
overhead.
beat by the throw. That was interesting. Unfortunate timing there, of course. Hard knocked down, no mana here, and gonna get thrown. Look at that damage! Oh no!
Yeah. They have to nerf Johnny throw damage. Why is he doing Potency Buster?
It's crazy. His final chance here.
Vena can do this, but Goose only needs this one round. But it's getting harder and harder. Vena looking really good cards-wise. Gets the positive. Has super available. Has oh, really good bait, but doesn't get the punish though. Arpeggio. 1,000 cubes on your head, overhead, and this should be it.
I think it's low-key always so impressive, the Asuka players, right? Being able to combo in very weird situations.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does it. So 2-2 now. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yep, 2-2. And what you were saying, like, again, the combo theory of Asuka changes so much since your tools change depending on what you have in hand. And yes, some cubes are similar, but some spell ain't cubes, and they interact really different combo theory. So a little bit of blaze to the Asuka players. Good job there. Staffs are cool. Please don't do speed stuff to me. I will cry. Ooh. Speaking of hands, not many good things there. Vena recycling that one really fast, but gets thrown in the air. But now though, really good build up by Vena. The hand was looking not so good, but eventually built something really good now. Looking good on mana, looking good on the cards that he has available.
All the cubes in the world here, and again, it is just Vena. Just with all the pressure to super here though.
Yeah, staff making the even more plus. Arpeggio. Tries to jump in, doesn't get it. No mana though, so really scary because maybe the next hit of Johnny could kill.
Not having that fear anymore, just throwing out the Hail Mary super there, but wait a second, gonna get that hit. Could be a chance here for Goose.
Double big cube. Oh, if I stop Vena, goes. And this kills.
Gets it, yeah.
Game 5, first round goes to Goose. Let's see if Vena can do anything about it, or will Goose take the 2-0 in this last game to get the whole set? Meatball, stay away from me, you katana user. With teleporting through the misfiner. Looking really good now because we have green cubes and arpeggio. And it's gonna be super first and foremost. Yes, and that's the setup. Oh, but misfiner goes through. I don't care about your cubes. Do you care now though?
Yeah, you should care because there's a lot of big cubes on the screen right ahead of you.
Yeah.
Woof.
Arpeggio.
Yeah, no.
Staff.
And they're just kind of able to do whatever they want here.
Does this hit?
That's
Oh, it does.
Again. Oh, wait a second. Yeah.
It's the combo here.
Then I was real low on mana, right? That is unfortunate. Cannot afford to get hit.
Yeah. The barrage of JPs. Now it's Goose's turn. One more hit to do it, even if... Oh, blocks the overhead. But this should be it. Oh. Amazing round by Goose. Was looking really hard. He's been on 1 HP for like 30 seconds, but still managed to, in the end, get the win, get the victory. and get the set.
So very, very close, and now we are ending our shift with one more match, and it is going to be the fraud himself, scarfed on that chip against the Scripture.
No. Ooh, Scripture actually. Yeah, true. That's really, really, really. I'm really looking forward to this. Really, really looking forward. This matchup is. I don't like to talk about winning or losing when it comes to overall. I like to be a bit more nuanced. I think that both characters really hate each other, if that makes sense. Like, because in one hand, Venom is really good at setting all these balls in the stage and in the screen, which makes it really hard for Chipp to actually operate and actually navigate through it. It's not easy to jump, it's not easy to dash block, it's not easy to do any of that. And also, Venom has really good buttons to check what Chipp wants to do, because of FS to S mostly. Also to B is really good.
Yeah.
And Chipp doesn't like to D either. That's a bit. But then again, if you are a zoner, you don't like when the fast ninja is doing fasty. You know, we don't like speedy here. We don't like neither when Chipp does double jump into J2K, for example, and stuff like that. So it's like, it's a bit of unmovable object versus unstoppable force. So yeah.
And definitely going to be interesting again to see how both of these players play around this matchup. Said unstoppable force, immovable object. Yeah, it's hard to pick a favorite for sure.
Too strong. These players are too strong. You know that sometimes they're gonna land on one side, other times they're gonna land on the other. Really good there by Scarf at the run up to K. Doesn't get the full conversion on the Rekka.
I think Chipp is very interesting, right? Because I feel like it's one of those characters that's always just been strong.
Yes.
There's been like a little bit, you know, there's like the whole Potemkin patch, everything like that. But even then, you had the rope, right? And just always been in at least a good place.
I think Season 4 Chipp has always been either really, 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 really strong, or at least really interesting. I think the worst moment of the character was during Season 3. When the YAZOO nerfs came, Chipp was kind of left like homeless in a sense. But since Rope has came, it's like, this character is either too good or too fun to not look at.
And that's going to be rough there. This character's so cool.
Yeah. Venom, I want to see more Venom. It's so cool. But the DP is gonna get hit there. Burst is used. FS as we talked about. The Venom is not good enough. That whiffs because of the new changes, but it's studio fine. Tries to navigate through the air, but Scripter really good waiting below. Oh, that is a frame kill. Interesting. Doesn't get the super, I think? Pretty sure that was a super.
Yeah.
But we got the FS instead.
Well, now it has a lot of tension, right? So gonna send out that overdrive again to just. Ooh, okay.
Oh, 50. Fussy. The good old BRC into overhead. Catches the Fussy, and first game goes to Scripter.
Yeah. Very, very nice.
In my humble opinion, as the not top Chipp player in Europe right now, as a Scarf for this, I prefer to play mostly grounded and to play around the 6P possibility, although of course that also opens other stuff for Venom to do, like 2S and 2D. But I hate jumping into Venom. Yes, too much control there. Unless there's some shenanigans, some spots maybe, but mostly grounded Chipp feels better. So we will see with Scarf at the time.
Yeah, it's always hard, right? Because you can't just only be grounded either, because you want to, of course, make a varied approach. But
yeah. but you have to be aware of how the... Oh my god. Please don't claim any Macharinos. Please stop right now. We can't risk it. We can't risk it. Alpha Blade into BRC command grab is not something that should be applauded. Let's stop it. Gets the hit. Actually gets the good conversion from counter hit into 2H directly. Doesn't get the wall splat though, because it was a bit slow on the combo itself. Yeah. But this is gonna go through the wall, and I think Sensei is gonna kill here. And that's what Scarfed is going to do.
What do you think? So of course 2 rounds straight. What do you think? Do you think anything changed here for Scarfed?
I think actually he hurt me. I think Scarfed literally didn't jump in this second game at all.
Yeah. I mean,
which in the end gives less time for Venom to, because if you jump, Venom's like, okay, I'm going to set the ball, I'm going to do this and that. But straight on it, you have to watch your toes.
Yeah, I mean, I do think again we have seen right at the finals. There's almost nothing more scary than a Chipp running forward plus just pressing close slash, right? So
yeah. Samito, the legend. Ooh, tries to go for the run up 6B. It gets blocked. I mean, but that's fine. That's not the worst in the world, reward wise.
Oh, there though. Yeah,
let's go there.
Burst.
Nice play with the rope. 6 play doesn't come out. Oh, we get the left right there. Ooh, that one was a little bit easier to see. Really good by Scripter. Really bad on the backdash there, and it's gonna be another kill for Sensei. Sensei counts. We are 2. It's crazy how good this super is right now. Yeah.
Of course, first match of a top 8 winner. This one will go into our winners final.
By the ball there. 2 balls here, really hard to play for Scarfed. Gets the Fusi jump there. For those who don't know, Scarfed is a nerd, and instead of doing Fusi jump, jumping up, he does jumping up and forward, because it's basically uglier to defend against.
I mean, Scarfed, somebody who's just been around for so long, right? Playing Chipp the entire way. So it makes sense, right? Got all that demonic tech on lock, and here we go again, and there's a super gonna be so much damage here, not quite enough, but the extra hit will do it.
Yeah. The Walmart 100 meter super. It's a really good 100 meter super, honestly. The Sensei plus RC. Really easy to combo into. You go into rope, you get 2 more hits, maybe 3, depending on the combo scaling. I mean, actually, depending on the combo scaling, if it hits kinda raw, it can do like half HP or more than half HP. Is quite something. It's quite something. Yeah, Scarfed looking quite well. 2-1.
Yeah.
Oh.
Soul bad guy, the bad man coming out to play here.
Duel 1.
La nueva y la ex, as we say in Spanish. The new and the ex. The ex has come to play.
And
you want to play the risk reward?
Yeah. You gotta remember this character, of course, deals damage now like it's nobody's business, and
yep,
it's kind of scary if you're on the Chipp.
Yep, total opposite matchups in that sense. Soul has to play the game that he actually has. Is the only character that has arguably less range than Chipp Samus actually. So Chipp has to approach much differently. Has to want to be scared of exactly this. Vulcan Viper.
Yeah, and it's interesting, right? You do want to rush down, but again, getting hit, it's it is suddenly very scary now to rush down. But you got to do it, right? It's your game plan, it's your bread and butter. You can't really not do it.
In my how you say, nerd opinion and weird opinion, you actually don't want to rush down Soul. Like, this is the matchup that you want to play, like, quote-unquote the zoner, playing with the spacing, playing with the 5H, and trying to not get exploded by a random 2S or 2D trying to go in. You don't want to play that risk reward because it's impossible to win that risk reward. So this is the only matchup that you actually outrange the opponent. So you rather always make space, find your 5Ks, find your 5Hs, and play through that.
And we can see, right, a lot of 5-8 shooting out from Scarf right now.
Yep.
Scripture out there. Gonna get the hard knockdown. Oh. And yeah, Scripture in a lot of trouble now. God. Burst. Gonna spend it here. Final chance. Oh, counter hit.
The damage. Oh, tried to beat the burst there. Was a good burst bait in my opinion because he was still keeping the combo back. Dies there. Yeah. A little bit of desperate DP there. Scarfett was playing the space trap game, so that was just a game. And that was just a 3-1 for Scarfett. Didn't look this good in the first game, but eventually he locked in. He probably played some I Need a Hero and got the win.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that is also going to be it for us today before we swap to the next team of commentators. Do you have anything you want to share before we hop off?
Be mindful with your matcherinos. Don't claim codes if you don't know that it's going to go to the right person. So thank you for the shout out on the socials. And yeah, hope you have a nice evening. Shout out to Ace and my partners, and have a nice night.
You also do streaming, right?
Yeah, I do streaming here and there. I want to do the check out Blink's stream. I do stream sometimes. I also do even coaching sometimes. If people want to hear me yap, I will be around there.
Yeah. What is the stream? Blink 15.
It's Blink 15, yeah.
So give Blink a follow, and yeah, that's gonna be it for us. We'll be right back with 2 goobers, I've heard. They're waiting
So her.
very patiently.
What are you calling a goober, my friend? But hey, welcome everybody. Thank you, Ace Blink, for warming people up. You did an amazing job. And well, that's a top 8 that's looking very fire. Jacker, are you still alive, or are you?
Yeah, I'm alive. I think I'm still just trying to see what's left in the bracket, because we only have our winner side top 4. We're still trying to see who's going to slide in on the loser side of things. That's what we're catching up to do on that part.
Yeah, quite a bit. The only one that will be more or less ready, and more or less is doing a lot of lifting, because my god, the losers bracket is something. But hey, if not, we are just going to podcast.
Yeah,
it is our job.
What's happening here? Because I think, if I got my names correct, like I see Lisper making a run through the loser side, so hopefully they get a little shot at redemption compared to the last time we had to see them off. But redroom, Shinky, man, that upper part of the loser side is pretty rough. Like Rezel being taken out by Shinky already, and now it's just redroom Shinky. Wonder who Volta gets to play against, but the YoKai team kill seems to be lining up again, which it's more their own fault for being so many of them. Shocker, Kenon 7, Salkazko. Yeah, I don't doubt the top 8 will still be fire.
Well, I mean, the top 4 at least is a straight up buzzing. We already had a really, really good game, man. There was a moment on that solo I was thinking that Scripter will force game 5. That was looking so nice. But at the end, Scarf is just showing up why number 1 seed.
Wait, Ace, they gotta see the Whooper. Just squash the image.
Yeah, just squash it. You need to be
gotta
squashed.
see the Whooper.
Do you want? Okay.
Just squash it down. Like,
Okay.
They have to see the Whooper.
Well, see, the issue is, right? The issue is that it just doesn't. No, it just looks so ugly, bro.
But can't you like squash it down so it's like not like make it small, but like
What's the
Wider.
What's the? I never do that, so I actually don't know what.
Oh,
Uh,
I'll just take a bit of a border. They need to see the whooper.
Yeah, I'll do this.
I mean, my accent looks fine. Also,
Whooper.
thanks for mirroring it.
Yeah, that's very important. All right.
Okay, thank you, Ace. All right, no, it's critical that they see the whooper. It's not even really particularly my favorite Pokemon, but he's cool.
Wooper is nice, even though I like Quagsire, but the alternative one.
Quagsire is also really good. I'm still very partial to Metagross. That Pokemon is awesome.
I mean, yes, I don't have anything to say against it. It is really cool. Even though that's Gen 3, I have one that's really cool, even though it's dog shit, because goddamn stats.
Isn't there a brown Whooper? I thought so, right?
Yeah,
Like,
Hisuian, I think.
Yeah, Hisuian, yeah, Whooper, the pooper.
I actually prefer Hisuian Quagsire. It's a way funnier of a Pokemon.
I mean, let me take a look at that, because like they had some fun with Quagsire, because they had some fun with the actually he's just on the ground now. That's awesome. He's loaf now. That's cool. Yeah, no, they had some fun with the regional Pokemons where, especially like, what I forgot the name of that one, but the Lightning Legendary of Gen 2, they just gave him a long neck.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Raikou, which transforms into
Something Lightning is also like they got
Pokemon.
like.
Yeah, I can't remember. Even though I've seen too much Wolfie to remember a lot of Pokemons out of the VGC right now, but
I started dabbling and watching Wolfie because somebody was talking VGS, and I was like, all right, what's this all about? I'm like, damn, this game Yomi crazy. What the hell?
I mean, I like watching their 3-hour videos. It's something really good to just have on the backside, enjoying it at the end. Even though it's not the Patreon exclusive, the amount of insight that you can just get from one single video, wow!
I mean, yeah, like if not only the like 30-minute breakdown that he usually does way at the beginning of the concept of the video and like explaining every single detail of why with like his Pokemon choices, and then you get like the history of the Pokemon along with it. And then once you make it past that part, when he starts actually playing the game, he just meticulously goes through his entire thought process, because, you know, as funny of a personality Wolfie is, he's very, very thoughtful about everything that he does. He's just, you know, he wants to play it to the absolute perfection. And of course, when he's doing it for content, it's not going to be the same level of play that he would demonstrate at an offline event. But, you know, nevertheless, you could just see the font of knowledge regarding Pokemon video game tech that's in his brain, just like locked up there.
Yeah, but hey, that's good understand. And then I think we can rein it back out of the Pokemon. We have.
True, we should talk about Yu-Gi-Oh now.
Yeah, I agree. Have you seen the new? What it was? I think it was support for Phantom Knights. I remember the name of the girls that were transforming into mechas. Oh, God damn it.
I didn't see that.
Sky Strikers.
Sky Strikers. Yeah. I mean, I don't care too much about Sky Strikers. What I did see was the new support for Earth Machine Trains.
Or have you seen the full art cards? Those are
those too, but like, you know, prepare to open up your wallet for that one. But,
I mean, I am not. I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh, but you know what we are going to be playing? That's going to be Goose versus RubeePrison. Good old Johnny Elphelt.
Yeah, you don't get to see these characters too much, especially Johnny, since the nerf since after his reign of terror. But Goose has been pretty solid, reappearing consistently in the top 8 of SaltyEU, repping the Johnny as always, and just showing that despite the changes, the character can still very much be a threat. And RubeePrison also on the similar end, where the character has received changes, but nothing quite yet to put her up at a competitive level like the top tiers. But you know, hard work and dedication gets her right in this position where already challenging for that first round win, The blocks by Goose, but ends up just letting go at the very end of the block. That's the first round quite comfortably going RubeePrison's way.
And I mean, yeah, I agree, but I will not say that just the characters that there's. I think we have two big boys of a top tiers that everybody else just feels lacking in comparison. I believe it's more of a rain everybody down than buff people up. At least for a couple of characters. Apart from that, yeah, RubeePrison just playing well, playing with a slight health disadvantage and now blocking the super that's going to be big. There we have Goose against the wall. Bull is going to get blocked with that Roman and just set up a couple of nades on ya. And now, what are you going to do with it? You are not.
That's bad, unfortunate. Maybe Goose could have tried to figure out some way to utilize the meter before the explosion, or maybe just after. But nevertheless, right, going for the quick left-right, especially the kind of mix-ups you see that maybe it's just a Valentine mix-up. Now that I think that aloud about it, where similarly Ramlethal also doing a quick left-right based off of a disjointed explosion mechanic, and really with the timing that you can employ in it, you can leave it up into the game's hand what side the opponent has to actually block it.
So let's see how Goose decides to go for this time. Very aggressive burst, not wanting to let RubeePrison get anything started at all. Manages to escape a little bit. Now onto the corner. Defense is not a strong suit, and that's an opening.
Amazing stuff so far, and we're already just going straight into the satchel, the wall break with the knockdown. That explosion ticking out. Checks with the low. Further extending thanks to the superset prior, and we're gonna do it one more time here. And at this point, Goose is not likely to get that burst back up in time, so has to survive this explosion. Decides to take the sky to avoid the mix-up. YC to create a bit of space, but it's gonna be a lot of work ahead for Goose to try and make this comeback at that health deficit that they're at.
Health deficit, bar deficit. There's the overdrive from RubeePrison. Big blocks on Goose side. Has a burst, but that at the point of life is just better to save it. Only use it if you know you can take advantage. Beautifully done there.
Amazing call out by RubeePrison, but an even crazy reaction there by Goose with the PRC now demonstrating that instant overhead, scary business as always, but just not quite able to finish the plate until that last close slash at the end. Really risky having sacrificed a bit of the burst gauge for that wild assault.
I think it's worth it at that point. The kill was probably almost a guaranteed thing, so it's an investment in the future, and now you're only halfway there on burst, and I know it with hindsight, but you're with an advantage. You just take it. You need to kill. This game is volatile. If you have a chance, take it. You're not going to regret that. Beautifully done. This time the J is going to appear, so tell me his name.
Smart play by Goose to just simply let the super rock, especially with the health advantage that should it go wrong, right? You could definitely take a full counter hit punish before things get really, really scary. And that's just the nature of employing your health bar as a resource to embolden you in some more aggressive plays in these final interaction situations your opponents have to be oh so careful when navigating through. As we go into game number 3 between these two. So far, we've seen some strong momentum coming out from both ends, although it's been a back and forth. Now it's time to see who has the established dominance, or if we're going to watch a trend of adjustments, adaptations, and that goes back and forth. And already we see some immaculate spacing as RubeePrison starting off things real aggressive here. Nice life lead to go with, as well as meter advantage here. Alright, RC keeps the pressure going, gets another confirm. Is enough to get the kill here in the mid-screen with the super. One more red RC, get to the wall sprat. Is that enough? No, I think the scaling might have done just a touch too much. It's so hard for Goose to work with.
Yeah, that's bad. I mean, I didn't think that almost Sally at the end. Yeah, it was poking, was pixel health, or Goose was Hail Mary if it works well. If not, I was already dead. Nothing to be done. RubeePrison, yeah, the advantage, but I think this game, I agree with you, we're going to be seeing a lot of back and forth all the time. Now it's Goose's time. Beautiful round, good Follow up, good pressure against the wall. No super, doesn't matter where you're going to send it.
Yeah, a little card throw. Generate a bit more meter gain and very, very tricky mix up the block there. Perfect for Goose. Go to the final round of game number 3. There is burst available here for Goose, whereas RubeePrison should be able to get hers back, but starting things off nice and aggressive means that it's going to have to be Goose that spends it not early. Immediately finds the mash to check whatever advantage attempt was considered there by Goose, but on the other side of the screen, we drop the satchel yet again, and now possibly down to that final interaction here for game number 3.
Yeah, it is, and Ruby's just going to go for it, takes another one, so that's going to be a 2-1 lead on a very even game. I think it's, at least from now on this topic, I think it's the most even we've seen. The previous one, at the Scarf just went ballistic at some point, but it did remind me more of a sinus wave, you know, up, down, left, right.
Yeah, I see what you mean. But this is going to be the decider now. RubeePrison 1 game away from moving on forward into the winner's finals position. Might be one of her best performances. Yeah, Ice will have to correct me on that. But so far, Goose is not looking to make that easy for her. Already starting off things, swinging out of the gates. A lot of damage dealt so far with the hard knockdown from the super, along with the positive meter bonus ticking. The chances are looking pretty dire. RubeePrison still bold enough to challenge with that 5P. Tries to bait the burst, but Goose ends up going for it a little later, and just like that, finishes up the round.
Yeah, indeed, that was just a demonstration of sheer amount of pressure, just sending it, it's working, keeping on. And now, Ruby trying to put the pressure, catches a misfire attempt, that's going to be an opening, blocks are not enough there. Good chunk of damage, and the Anji is not good. But at the end, there's always that smidge of a gap that Ruby manages to find. We are going to the evening this series, not yet. Big blocks to the yellow, and there's the evening one.
I think it was perfect for perfect here. As RubeePrison now on that set point, but Goose with a chance. Gets the deflect shield off, but unfortunately puts himself into the corner. Nevertheless, doesn't quite get punished too heavily for it. However, with this next opening, RubeePrison setting up the mix-ups. With the OTG hit, the deflect shield does get a little bit of space, allows for Goose to escape the corner at the very least and swap places with RubeePrison. Red RC keeps the pressure running. Nice stagger pressures, trying to open up some space for frame traps here, getting RubeePrison to press, but the patience is working out beautifully for her. She is also trying to find her next opening without dealing a lot of chip damage in the process. Finds the jump in the Red RC for the confirm. Is it going to be enough? Getting close to the wall. No, that's going to be a swap, so Alisal tries to push it ever closer. Doesn't quite get the splat.
No, too much scaling at the end, which means that Goose has a chance. There's a grab, sets up a card, no misfire, spacing is good. No! Not that fireball. Goose back on the offense, sets up another card, misfire against the wall. No, also not enough to kill.
Yeah, break just coming in time. Doesn't get the punish there with the blue RC. Listen with the lifeline. Gold burst activated here, so the positive meter bonus. A lot of tension, but just like that, able to find the snatch from the sky. Goose is going to stay alive, bringing it to a final game situation.
YoKai, we are starting strong. At least our shift, because the topic was gas, and our shift is okay. We have the first game, okay, that's going to be Goose versus Ruby, both great players. It's going to be a beautiful match, and oh my god, my heart is not going to be able to end it all.
Might be a situation there that RubeePrison pushed a little too hard for a kill combo attempt, dedicating too many resources into it. But nevertheless, we're in the final game. Already the early burst being deployed here by RubeePrison. Immediately checked from trying to take her turn back, but nevertheless, both players are interacting back and forth. The first are off the table, as no major confirm has come from either side. Just straight pokes, leaving Goose in a slight advantage situation. The health bar, the tension gauge looking pretty matched as well. The trading blow for blow, but there it is. Goose finally with an opening. Has her trapped into the corner. Patience. Little hitbox interaction. With the knockdown, tries to get this cross up going, but Goose, eyes are open, looking carefully to defend through this pressure.
Yeah. Trying to, and now Ruby finds a couple of openings, gets a couple of knockdowns, and now this is a combo starter. If I ever see one, another one reset, he still gets it. That deflection is not enough to get a Valentine out of you. You
Especially
need
when she uses
something
it during her
better.
vault interaction. It's very difficult to actually get a lot of space there. Just like that clean punish on Ruby's side. Already back on set point. Has Goose trapped at the corner. Gets a little throw action. The health lead is going much further now. Thanks to that counter hit. Sets up the satchel. We're down to 1 or 2 good interactions here before RubeePrison moves on forward into that winners finals.
Going to try to Goose managing to get out of that corner. And now it's Ruby's time to be on defense. The overdrive too far. That Goose is too far, but it means that there's also no punish. That was just spend 50 meters. Take a breather, which I think is worth it at some point, but not now.
Trading back and forth. However, this does need to be mindful. Too many trades, right? Not a whole lot of health left to work with, but able to find these straight hits with the sword normals. Gets the throw down to that last interaction. Able to find the throw and brings it to a final game, final round situation. The burst advantage here on Goose's favor. RubeePrison unlikely to get it back anytime soon, so any damage that hits is quite lasting and very difficult to make a comeback from. And again, we're starting off the grappler gameplay here from Goose, but the backdash to create escape the close slash, but not enough to get an opening just yet.
No, not enough, and now it's... Both players are just sending big haymakers, sending everything they got. Goose spending the half a bar meter they have. Ruby getting access to deflection if need be. Or avoid assault. You need to see. For now, on the offense, tries to open up Goose's, but no chance, and now it's Goose's time to retaliate. That's going to be... Tell me that's no, because I don't know if it's going to be.
I think it might be. Yeah,
No.
one more chance here for RubeePrison, but given the burst situation, yeah, it's gonna have to. It wasn't the gold burst. Ended up just being punished for it. That was her best shot at the burst to either use it during pressure or hope for a gold burst to get that positive meter bonus. But ended up going in Goose's favor. The man never loses with the gambles. Going to be able to take that winner's final spot there, 3-2 by a hair.
My, what a fantastic game we've seen, and yeah, I agree, that was just one hair with separating both of them. And Ruby, I think I can speak for both of us that we expect a lot of from them on that loser side, doing a very strong run there.
Exactly. And what we also expect a lot of is these code claims. We're already at over halfway there just by one. Still having 24 codes remaining to be claimed, so don't slack. Even though we're in the final stretch here, this is exactly when we should all galvanize and get together and get this Matcherino thing sorted out. So exclamation mark Matcherino, head on over, hit the claim code button if you haven't done so, and then sign in if you haven't done so already. Once you've completed that process, you'll contribute 25 cents to the prize pool. It's free money and goes a long way to supporting these players who are coming in week after week, especially now that the 2.0 is on the horizon. I could understand some people wanted to take a break these last 2 weeks before the patch drops, but still 50 plus people in attendance of SaltyEU on a Monday. Make sure that the efforts are appreciated, the message is heard.
Yeah, because not only 50 plus people in attendance, if 50 plus people, just after our World Tour, after everything we've seen, you need to don't you need to give the players something back at this point. They are putting the time, the hours, the sheer willpower at this point, because we are all waiting for them, for the patch, at least the patch notes. But and also I have so yeah, go there and claim codes. And Jacket, I have something very important to ask you.
Okay.
What's going to happen with the RoboKai's head on Venom's animations?
I feel like they could have a bit of fun with it, where just like how if you play these certain fighting games where you have characters that appear in the back of the stage, they disappear when they're selected. That if you end up having the RoboKai versus Venom matchup, that put in a replacement droid, because there isn't really another RoboKai in the lore, if I'm not mistaken, right? RoboKai is the last of its kind. So either that, or they just go, well, you know, just like how you can have mirror matches with characters, this is also one of those dimensional things that explains away how this conflict can occur.
As Doctor Who will say, timey-wimey bullshit or something like that, but yeah. And Technically yes, but as far as I know, that RoboKai is actually the last one remaining of all of those that were made during the Crusades or just after the Crusades. I think. Don't call me on lore because God knows this game's lore is a goddamn joke, and we have a game for losers. If you don't believe it.
Yeah, finally. I think especially being able to go the distance there in the previous set has allowed for a lot of time. So it's going to be Lisper moving all the way up, along with Salkazko as well. So we get to see a bit of that Anji action. And the other side, Red Room is still waiting on the YoKai team kill to resolve itself. But interestingly, no YoKai top 8 this time. Sometimes they do make their appearances here and there, but maybe the team kills might have gone them too much this time.
We are going to have one YoKai top 8, and that's it.
What am I missing here?
The team kill
right,
for top 8 place.
Yeah, of course. Wait, what am I saying? Yeah, the two that are going to fight for the final slot. My fault. Maybe I'm too excited to not see them in there.
You're so excited of them getting a team kill that you're forgetting that that's a team kill to get top 8.
Listen, we're all from different orgs. We like seeing competitively other orgs fail, you know. It's just one of the natures of competition. Ultimately, you gotta root for your own team. Even though there's nobody in ZF that plays, unfortunately, I think in a wider EU skill bracket top 8 level yet. Maybe 2.0 changes some things, as some Zero Fundamentals stuff might change as well.
Ooh. Interesting foreshadowing. Take note, everybody, you're going to get tested on it in like 2 weeks and a half, more or less.
Yeah. Probably next month, when we do another Zero Fundamentals. So people in the Benelux/German border, keep your eyes peeled for that one.
So yeah, Central Europe, check it out.
Wait, are we considered Central Europe? That would be more like Germany.
Germany is for sure, but the thing is that I am going to go a little bit of a tangent, but the division of ex-Europe is as destroyed as it could be.
Fair enough.
The only one that I agree on is Northern and Southern Europe, because those are the easy.
That's very easy.
More or less to say, but there are some countries that are not considered Southern Europe that technically are stupid. Because then you have technically France, which can be considered what? Central or Western Europe. But then there's a lot of France that's also at the same level of parts of Italy. It's stupid, so
yeah,
it's still Europe.
Well, it's just one of those things where I think we've moved past the need for France, you know?
Always.
Yeah, always. Alrighty, Lisper versus Salkazko. So last time with Lisper, unfortunately, participating in the tournament on a wireless connection, which is against the rules. So making it back up to the top 8, presumably now on a wired connection, is definitely a proof that it was not all under the circumstances that he's able to perform in such a way. And already starting off pretty strong with some hard callouts here, excellent backdash reactions. Just to reverse the situation out. Now with the down with the system super as well, he's layer on the herd as well as the hard knockdown.
Well, at least if we are, I know that we are making a lot of suppositions, but the reactions are on point on Lisper's side. I don't think we can disagree on that. And now Salkazko putting some pressure, trying to get out of there, but Lewis can be a big bully. Difficult to get out of there. Couple of fusils, trying to find the opening, and there is big jump on Lisper that's just going to go through and get those $200.
Yeah, both of them pretty even here in this going to this next round. Burst gauge at a relatively similar level, but Lisper already gonna be burning that nice and early. No Skyfish attempt for you, and the backdash yet again putting it quite of a scary situation there for Salkazko. Having to spend the burst on aggressive momentum basis to try and keep Lisper locked in the corner while keeps hammering down with his Fujin mix-up, sets up the throw down to the last hit here.
Oh, okay. That was a good defense on the end by Lisper. This is going to be side swipe, drone, keep the pressure going, opening. No more bar, there's been no hard knockdown. But still, Lisper being the aggressor, forcing the use of a deflect shields. And Salkazko still locked onto that corner, opening with the overhead and just confirms it.
That might be did it confirm? Was that an OTG hit to finish things off? But nevertheless, gets the final touch that he needs and a very nail-biting first game. So question is, going to be going the distance again in the subsequent games, or is this going to be starting to tilt more in one player's favor as they're trying to start to figure out how the other one ticks?
No, we'll need to see it. We'll need to check because even the game ended with that 1-0. That was, I think we can say that the game was as close as it could be, which everybody benefits on it. The entertainment aspect is what matters here. Now, Salkazko trying to put the pressure, doing a little bit of a miss-sequence, messing it a little bit, and which means that Lisper is just going to take full advantage, putting Salkazko once again onto the corner, evades the spin, and that hurts.
Can't might have been a little bit of an error there, but nevertheless, solid life lead here for Lisper. See the patience, but jump over. What a call out. You're going to see the hero burst come out from Salkazko, but this time, not able to interrupt the Skyfish in time and just gets pelted down as Lisper takes the lead here. Pretty comfortable round to kick things off in game number 2.
Certainly one. Now it's going to be Salkazko, the one that's going to put the pressure. Remember everybody, Anji, big pressure machine, even if it doesn't appear actually. Those Fujin loops are no joke, but if you're going to get hit by that, that's a nasty hit. Lisper just sending it and still sending it around there.
And the blenderizer right there looked a bit interesting, sacrificing the corner position there to bring it back to a slightly mid-screen spot, but all to set up the immaculate left-right 50-50 there to close things out. Lisper with a little bag of tricks just to steal you of your last bit of HP and close out games here. Now one away from tearing through in further the losers run. Going to be off, trying to go face off against RubeePrison later. But we'll see if Salkazko can put any sort of a dent into this scoreboard, or at the very least, or maybe even, sorry, not the very least, maybe even make a reverse sweep happen.
I need to say, because I will say that right now, as it disappears, Salkazko has a very tough job ahead of them. It can be done, but you need to put a lot of work onto it. Spinning, good spin, that's going to catch a couple of typhoons, which means that Salkazko can get the party started, gets the knockdown, puts Lisper onto the corner, an overhead there.
Yeah, a lot of information in that mix-up, constantly throwing out normals, but canceling just on the ground and getting the throw ready, so throwing Lisper for a loop here, literally. As the first round in game number 3 goes, Salkazko's way has the burst available as well, should things get a little too hairy, but just decide to burn it early. Let's try to save it for the next round. Has to go for the momentum, but able to bait it out. Lisper now with a really strong position, especially swapping the sides here, harassing down against Salkazko, but able to find the throw for the Behemoth Typhoon, and yet again going for these air normals, just canceling them onto landing recovery and just getting the throws out instead.
Now that knockdown, try to get a party started again, because the corner has been gone. Assault time to catch in the spin, just nullifying that JD, and another one eating typhoons for days. Salkazko is going to get one game onto the scoreboard. That's a 2-1.
Good start. What could potentially lead into a reverse sweep. Definitely Salkazko starting to twirl a little bit more through the neutral, working out beautifully against some of these callouts from Lisper in an attempt to control space with these Behemoth Typhoons and some of the other longer range normals at Goldlewis's disposal, which means you do have to start second guessing a little bit how are you going to employ the strengths of your characters when the other one is happening to just dance on through, right? Playing an awkward RPS of not doing your favorable options, which further allows the opponent to just run at you and do what they like.
Yeah, that's something that I rather plays a character with long attacks, with stupid recoveries needs to face once when playing Anji against Anji. How do I deal with all that with the spin? And for now we are seeing that the Lisper's way to deal with the spin is just powering through it or taking advantage of the tension, but Salkazko this time is going to say nope. There is a beautiful parry, good damage onto Lisper.
Wow, what a sprint, but through the Fusion as well. Maybe one drone only this time, and now just trying to hold the space down here, set up to the Thunderbird, but able to dance through. You see some good spacing play here by Lisper, able to just slam that air with the Human Typhoon here to put himself on set point. Salkazko trying to dance on forward, but just gets the timing ever so slightly wrong, and look at that, half health already gone.
Not good for Salkazko now. Lisper is going to get the side switch for free. Only going to get hit a little bit. Beautiful backdash. And the oh my god, that's nasty out of Lisper. Salkazko is the worst. Last chance, it's a drone dash, the Typhoon. And game, set, and match for Lisper right now.
Yeah, there it is. 3-1. Going to be pushing on forward, being able to face off against RubeePrison later down the line. As we're now going to be heading on to our next losers match, where we got Red Room and Volta Antares, who ended up taking it over Vena in the team kill. Going to be set up to play next. While we wait for them, as always, remember to not slack on the Matcherino code claims. We still are sitting at that 24. Let me just do a quick refresh to verify. But in the meantime, exclamation mark Matcherino. Get yourself that link, click on it, head on over, hit the claim code button, sign in if you haven't done so already. And once you've completed that process, you have contributed 25 cents to the prize pool. Every little bit helps, and you'll be supporting these players who'll be coming in week after week, even with this, pretty understandable 2 weeks away from 2.0, where some people might think like, you know what, let me just take a break from Strive, come in fresh when that drops. But no, not these 50 or so plus people attending this week's SaltyEU.
Exactly. Go there, claiming a code is free, you don't need to do much, if anything, or nothing at all. Just go there, click, claim code, and Matcherino is going to do everything you need. It's going to go there, log in for you, say, yeah, I know that guy. Guy's cool, or gal, or whatever you want. I know them. They nice. Give them the money. A money has been given, 25 cents. Is that a lot? No, but a lot of people is going to continue adding up, and adding up, and adding up. And there's a point that 25 cents at a time, every 4 people $1. That more people, that's starting to look like a decent price. But if not, look at that, 26 bucks. Starting to be something. A couple of kebabs. And that is good kebab.
Probably like 3 or 4. Depends
or
on
5.
Like,
or 5.
Depends on how awesome your little spot is, right? Like how secretive and secluded it is. How much the man working there recognize you when you say the usual, and he gives you that extra donor on it.
Exactly. So yeah, if you know right now, keep on claiming them codes. Boys need to eat, and kebabs are good.
Alrighty, I think Red Room starting to make his way into the room, as we got Volta Antares here, repping the Slayer as always. And if I'm not mistaken, Red Room on the Asuka, which I do wonder how that works out, because I feel like it's going to be heavily timing based between these two characters, whether or not Volta Antares is able to get to pressing before the boxes are starting to come out. Maybe throw out a Mappa Hunt, right? Blow through some of these cubes and get right into just stagger pressuring Red Room to the end. But time will tell. You see the first interactions, both immediately trying to swing and control for spacing, but it's going to be Red Room that comes out with a slight footsie game, and immediately we're going to be hammering down with these cubes.
Yeah, I agree on you. Completely timing based until we see a super mappa that's going to be skip neutral, but that's still because of 50 tension. And Red Room, beautiful read. That's just going to say, you are trying to approach me through the air. We don't do that here.
You know that. Little 6p action, RC. Starting the next round started. Immediately Volta on Antares once more, doing what he can to control that spacing. And now having Red Room trapped into the corner. Keeps on swinging because the importance here is that you do not let up on the pressure at all. But ultimately, the FD does create enough space to be able to push away. And just like that, hammering down yet again with the cubes. Able to quickly tie up the healthy. Maybe even take a slight advantage. But having to sacrifice quite a bit of it to just keep the spells, keep the mana running. Does give more of a chance here. Volta Antares to end the round here possibly. The wall splat, is it enough? Yeah, even the extra defense of the mana shield. Volta Antares able to tie up the rounds.
I don't know what you will say that when Slayer starts comboing, that's not going to be enough. I think we all know that once you get tagged up by a Slayer, you're going to be eating a lot of damage, and a lot is a dire situation. Right now, you have.
This is a lot of damage.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's going to be a
just kills.
Yep. No mana, super mappa, wall break. See you next week. My god.
See you 2 weeks. As I think apparently they're changing staff just to be a Raw special that he has now, right? No longer a card. Looked like it to be the case at least, but yeah, nevertheless, right, it's going to be a careful cat and mouse game that Red Room has to play here with regards to, you know, playing around the mana gauge and not sacrificing too much health to keep the pressure running, because ultimately you do put yourself into that range of either Slayer just touching you off of you having no mana, henceforth no mana shield, or just low enough that one more combo will secure the round for Slayer.
So, resource management is the game. Red Room needs to play it, and let's see if they are going to be playing it good or not, because right now, eating a 2H counter hit into 6k, no more mana, and we a Slayer unbound, unleashed. Yeah.
Yep. Again, no mana. This character already just churns out damage like it's nobody's business, and now you give sort of, I think the weakest defense in the game without the mana shield. This character just becomes the TOD machine. Put him in every single combo music video.
A Twitter clip from the good old days of, oh look what I can do with a Slayer, and it's a Slayer just knocking someone out of orbit, but not everything is lost. Red Room sacrificing HP for mana, which is sadly not going to end well for them. That's 2-0 for Volta.
I remember the early Twitter clips of Slayer where they were having fun doing Super Mappa against the Gamma Blade Chipp, just to see him get one touched off of the sweet spot there.
Oh no, I don't want to remember original Super Mappa. That was fucking hell.
What do you mean? Slayer's the vision of Strive.
Yeah, but do you know what was trying to play a character that could be just nuked out of orbit because, oh, the opponent has 50 tension, I can play what I want to do, because fuck that has invincibility.
Consider that you have the same character select screen.
Yeah, but I don't want to play Slayer, that's the point.
Oh well.
Yep. It happens. And now, okay, we are getting to do a little bit of tutoring, trying to stack up the deck, good opening, and the teleport just messes up with Volta's defense. And Red Room, putting some good damage, but that's not enough to get a Slayer down. And you need
especially
to
when you're running a little low on the mana as well. Has to be careful though. With the burst, has put Volta Antares back in the full screen situation, just like that. Barely able to tag an opening here. securing around at the very end, nevertheless. But had to sacrifice quite a bit of HP there, where if things went a little differently, you could see just Antares get right through. And already the double Mappa to try and bully Red Room into the corner.
And now the thing that Volta was trying to be a little bit too cheeky with those cubes. Red Room doing God's job on just sending bullshit, classical Moon Knight random bullshit go.
Going for the burst here, has to try and stay alive. Big Mappa chase down Red RC. Go blocks on the mix, jumps away from the Master's Hammer. Enough to get the finish here. Goes for super. Oh, not quite.
Now, being a vampire has its perks at the end, it appears.
Almost certainly does. There we go. Tap Dust will be the trick. As Red Room does manage to put one game on the board. We're going to see some kind of reverse sweep happen. Maybe even a game 5 at least. Or does Volta Antares consider like, okay, that was cute. Let's get back to RPS Mappa and big counter hit confirmed.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Okay. Boosted by Red Room, evading the initial strike and starting to pelter Volta with cubes, but Volta's managing to find those hits, blocks the yellow. That's a dead Red Room.
Not quite, didn't have the super to finish the food, but even though without a hard knockdown, right, you've got the opponent here with no health to spare and also no mana, needs to make the most of this pressure sequence. And we're just going to send the Hands of Doom instead to Volta Antares on that set point.
Now, okay. Good defense on Volta's side. At the end, the overhead manages to catch them, forcing a burst. Both Mappas still connecting. 2 Mappas. The third one is blocked and still gets a counter with the 2H. Red Room already lost a lot of life and more, trying to stay mana positive. You're going to be stacking the deck, sending the big cube. Let's see if this is going to be enough. That's a good amount of damage.
It's a decent position for Red Room as well, but has to be careful with all the spells that are being cast. But now having the extra regeneration, as well as that final confirm to finish things off with, we're going to bring it to a rounded piece here. Still set point for Volta Antares, but Red Room now with an opportunity to bring it to a game 5 spot. We'll see how the round start kicks off with, but Mappa being interrupted by the cube is exactly what Red Room is counting on here now. Able to just pelt him down, preventing the approach that from Volta Antares. People are trapped even in the corner with the gravity staff. Fourth here, just trying to narrow the avoid, make most of the health advantage here, but ultimately it's going to be Volta Antares that does push him in towards the corner, little PC action, but that's his hammer able to catch the cross up. There's the bite into the RC, forces the universe counter, big proration, and a little 5p to end things off weird, nice and funny, like 3-1 for Volta Antares.
Yeah, at that point, mana was the issue that we were expecting that to be, and it was just a lot of damage. And we've seen what Red Room needed to do. It needed to just pester Volta with cubes. But there's a problem. Slayer, there's a moment that can just say, fuck you.
Not very dandy of him. But
Not very dandy, but...
Can't pull the trigger and just suddenly close the distance. Of course, timing is key as always, and between careful management of which cubes, which spells you're casting, and the amount of mana you have left compared to the HP you're willing to sacrifice for it, right? Because Asuka only helping in the damage race of competing against Slayer, right? Where if you're sacrificing health to get that mana back, that means that you reduce the amount of confirms that Slayer needs to get to be able to finish the combo, or finish the rounds off, excuse me.
Yeah,
But,
it was with... I agree, and that's the main point. I believe, personally, that maybe more spending super for mana rather than life. You're going to get super either way. You only have one life. And healing is what, limited to characters on very situational occasions? The trade-off is not there, and especially when there's a moment on Asuka that you can just start sending bullshit and you're going to get more meter than you know what to do. And you're going to just stack your deck at that point.
Pretty much. Well then. Up next, we got Lisper versus RubeePrison. And I don't know if this is the first time these two are getting to meet one another. At least in this top 8 section, it's probably their first time. And while we already rarely see these two characters in action on the top 8 ends of SaltyEU, right? Both the Elphelt and the Goldlewis. So I'm curious to see what happens. As before, I can imagine it's going to have some similar aspect to where we saw her face off against Goose, where the character does have a bit of range to compete against the Elphelt, to tag her out on the approach at times, but ultimately lacking any meterless reversals, really has to sit down and respect quite a bit of this pressure, especially when she starts hopping over you, dropping a bomb, and giving you left-right 50-50s out the wazoo. Lisper has demonstrated some pretty good command of meterless defense, utilizing things like backdashes, as well as just appropriate opportunities to mash. So we'll see how glued his eyes are to the screen going into this matchup.
I agree, but then in my opinion, there's also something more interesting that Elphelt has access. Those fireballs, remember, can change directions once. And there's a point that if you can more or less lock Goldlewis, because if you know, or if you remember, Goldlewis has a very rough time trying to get into someone, especially if you are sending projectiles or cubes or chains or whatever you can send it. And those fireballs, depending on the angles that Ruby is going to be shooting them, that's going to put a good strain on that dash block mechanic out of Lisper that I can imagine it's very good, but still. Forcing those problems is going to be interesting.
Definitely, but I don't think it's necessarily too major a factor because Elphelt can't really, for what it seems, capitalize purely off of a zoning game plan. You can definitely work to frustrate your opponents out in health advantage situations, but ultimately, right, where she functions strongest is, well, within a operational range for Goldlewis. So both players will have to make an approach at some point, right, into one another to get their game plan started. And even if, say, RubeePrison commits fully to the projectile game, with the right timing, Skyfish can put a stop to that pretty quick.
I agree, but taking into account how Elphelt likes to play, that's a way heavier reliance on mix-ups. Stacking your opponent's mental with a lot of bullshit, a lot of projectiles they need to block, and such like that, there's a moment that's going to start adding up.
Right.
At least that's what I imagine. Start just stacking mental. There, I'm going to be sending a lot. You're going to be sending to you a lot of projectiles, and if I am sending them through the air, that means that at some point they are going to be diverting and heading up to you. Your choice of action there, but you're going to start blocking, dash blocking, and there's a moment that just going to go through mental. But no, we are just going to be sending it. Skyfisher, there's a Gatling.
Blender we go, doesn't end up blocking the low. Once more, good block so far from Lisper, trying to go for some chicken block angles. Ultimately, gets to the corner here as RubeePrison quite comfortable as it seems. Lisper hasn't really gotten the chance yet to find an opening for himself to be able to fight back at this instance. Being caught out by the Bridal Express here into the cross-up explosion, and RubeePrison taking no prisoners, starting off that first round with a message.
Yeah, and sadly for Lisper, because that was a really good defensive sequence, but getting tagged on that very last hit. Sadly there, but there's an air grab going to be locking down Ruby onto the corner, half tension. We are going to be churning them butters.
There you go, max damage, whole lot of pain, and Lisper equally responding back that some of these rounds can go his way too, rather comfortably as well. Now trying to go for that dash block approach, dancing around some of these really long normals at Elphelt's disposal, does get brought into the corner, and once more we see a very difficult attempt from Lisper to try and break away from the situation. RubeePrison is able to consistently find some of these brief openings, but no major confirmed just yet, which for a beefy boy as Goldlewis isn't too bad. However, not going to be the solution forever.
No, it's not, and now Ruby is going to get tagged, thrown onto a corner. The backdash is a good tool to not get completely nuked yet, and the 6P is going to catch the air, which means that there's another combo, but that's not going to be enough to kill Goldlewis. Goldlewis has a very high life, high defense, everything and guts. Goldlewis is just a tank in human form. Okay, down with the
Now the
system.
laser. YRC breaking away from this airy pressure itself, now trying to chase down, but barely winning out on the footsies, trying to bait the burst, but RubeePrison doesn't bite, ultimately goes at the very end. Now both players in a one-touch position. The Skyfish rocks out, and just like that, unfortunately catching RubeePrison on the run-up attempt, as Lisper just barely able to clutch out that first game.
I mean, I think we are seeing another very close one. We are just going to be enjoying those, eating them non-stop.
You gotta be careful with your approach. Recognize the machine guns being pulled out and quickly put a stop to it, or find your way around it, right? To be able to try and get a punish for. He's very grounded in horizontal control, but nothing really to respond to the air approach.
Exactly. Alright, Ruby getting a good start, locking Lisper into the corner, a little bit of just being there. Drone is not going to be enough. Ruby fights the opening, gets a side switch, and still managing to catch Lisper's defense, lagging another one, just resetting him. No problem, 1, 2, 3, job's done.
Double low, just some very short combos here, but hey, if you consistently manage to open up your opponent, then no worries. Right, go for the momentum burst, trying to keep Lisper trapped in the corner. The grenade, gonna find the overhead yet again. Off sides, good blocks, but just gets caught out at the very end. Immediately kicking things off here. Blocks. Low coming out. Lisper not finding a break through this pressure at all. This might be 2 times that it's RubeePrison's game, but this time finds the backdash. Unfortunately for Ruby, doesn't find her own, but still the combo drop gives her the opportunity to close things out. Doesn't quite get the pickup of the grenade. The clash able to cancel off of it just in time, and the grenade deployment once more is going to get the pickup that she needs to tie up the set 1 apiece.
And it truly appears that I will need to reconsider my approach with Elphelt onto this matchup. It's just going to be run as fast as you can onto their face and just keep pestering them with options. If they can't block all of them, you're going to be winning at the end. Who would have thought that?
Who'd have thunk?
Yep.
Duel 1.
Alrighty, game number 3 between these two. Kicking things off with Wild Assault. Already putting RubeePrison into the corner, just hammering down with these Ohima Typhoons. And the security cancels running as well. Big explosion though, maybe he might be able to compete a little bit back with damage dealt. Gonna get the wall break here with the satchel deployed as well. It's been rather tricky thus far for back throw incident. Able to avoid the explosion, catches her with the low. The red RC to push it a little further than a quick jab to round things off here. Lisper eager to take the lead back in the set.
Yeah, that was a very beautifully moment for Lisper. That the timing on the throw was perfect. Now, on the next game, Drone is just going to be commanding neutral, forcing Ruby onto the corner, and now Lisper, I believe it's going to be just big damage, big hits. Backdash evades one of the Typhoons, that's big for Ruby.
Surprised for her to not take the chance there to punish it, but nevertheless able to find his repeated openings, going to a round AP situation. Both players poised to take the lead over the other in the set. RubeePrison does have her burst developed compared to Lisper, only sitting at 50%, but able to get his back with the way the round goes out, along with the burst bait now sitting in a very comfortable position, but the 5P anti-air there, big call out, able to swap it right around here now, being able to get the wall break with the satchel deployed, a very strong position for RubeePrison to work with.
Yeah, RubeePrison managed to find a lot of those 5p anti-airs on very stick situations, evading a lot of potential damage. Now, Lisper has advantage on tension, already used that wild assault, gets the tag, that's going to be a dead Valentine, therefore 2-1 for Lisper.
Crazy conversion there. But indeed, Lisper now with the lead in the set, 1 game away from keeping the losers run alive and sending RubeePrison out. Well, she hasn't demonstrated that she isn't out of contention at all, right? Having some really dominating rounds. Only a matter of finding the consistency to repeat those enough times to be able to take the whole set over Lisper here.
Easier said than done.
Definitely, that's why we're commentators.
Exactly. But we believe on Ruby's chances and more importantly technique for finding those spaces, at least the way that they are completely nullifying the approaches on the air from Lisper. That's a way to start. That's a leverage of drone, trying to command neutral, but Lisper is just going to throw themselves onto the problem. And Ruby is going to say thank you very much for getting close to me. That's some damage on your Nagoriyuki, but Lisper managing to get
Really looking for the burst bait there, but ultimately gives RubeePrison the opportunity to find that 5p anti-air, converts into the wall break with the satchel deployed as well. So deflect shield all you like. Doesn't quite get the pick up there at the end, but we get the final touch that she was looking for. Now with the round lead here, game number 4.
Yeah. Now, okay. Punish onto the Typhoon and through the paces, and for Ruby just send it. Another side switch. Just keep on sending in. Ruby is going through the paces. Bread and butter. It's working. Gets another counter hit against the wall. We are going again for the satchel. That's a pipe bomb on your pocket.
Yeah, good RC there. Blocking out any final shenanigans that Lisper might have. In this case, the burst, trying to stay alive. But in fairness, a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, as RubeePrison is able to bring it into a game 5 position yet again off the back of a very dominating game. So is it going to be a question of can she repeat the magic, or is it going to be one of those where Lisper responds in kind with also a very dominant performance that we've seen before in the set?
We need to see because we said it. Both players are really good. Match is very even, and my god, that's a way to snuff out more or less a wild assault. Just grab it.
Fantastic call out opening here, the final game from RubeePrison's side. And already finding repeated hits, but Lisper gonna go for a bit of a hero burst here, believing in the opportunity to make the comeback happen. Good dash blocking, trying to close the gap here against RubeePrison. Doesn't quite get the jump back normal that he was looking for here to punish the Bridal Express, and unfortunately that's with a perfect gonna send RubeePrison to set point. First available, a very strong position to keep the advantage running.
Strong indeed, and is now going for that side switch situation and still punishing that 5p attempt from Lisper. Deflection is not enough. There's no end to the Elphelt massacre, and Ruby is continuing to losers finals.
A double perfect, my goodness.
Loser quarters, yeah.
Yeah, this is still a bit of ways for her to go through, but nevertheless, continuing on forward. No, loser semis. This was the quarters, so.
It's Monday.
It's Monday, but also Challenge decides to name everything very differently, calling it losers round 8, 9, and then what we know as finals is losers round 10. And then they got the same thing going on where winners finals is for them semifinals and grand finals is just finals.
And the extra match does not exist. And the reset does not exist. It's a myth.
The thing is, you could, go through the effort of renaming it, but I think Challenge is also it's I think supposedly a chess originally type of website, because you have a lot of stuff that isn't necessarily just video games that you could build a bracket for on the website. So They do try to keep it generic, although if they were truly generic, they would call it lower and upper bracket instead of winners and losers, which was its whole own can of worms that I think started with. I think it was NetherRealm Games started doing that first.
I mean, if not, you can stock it to one of CEO's iterations, Heaven or Hell bracket.
Oh yeah, but CEO does it. It has a theme based off whatever Jibali's interest is. So like, I think the Heaven or Hell one was the JoJo's one. Yeah. Then they had one for the Gundam one. Obviously, I forgot. I think he also had similarly for the Final Fantasy where it was called like Ultima Finals or something.
Either way, you can just name it whatever you want. As long as it's clearly differentiated, you are good.
Exactly. But here we go. Volta Antares versus Scripter, aka Raph, who we've seen just continuously piloting the Venom, especially I think on Twitter, mentioning that they're only interested in Venom as of late. But we did see the brief glimpse of the Soul earlier.
I mean, it's a classic of if need be, I can just bring back the old favorite. And we are seeing an Xrd classic. The Archangel is going to.
This can be good.
Yeah, nope.
Wow, it hit so hard they both got kicked out of the room. Oh my goodness.
I think Slayer broke the internet. My god, what just happened?
Getting pretty extreme with some of these hit effects, I guess.
Yeah, that was too powerful. That was just too powerful for the engine to handle, and decided to fuck it. I am out of here. See ya.
That was crazy. I think maybe Ace just server side died or something, because like we're back here trying to fix up the next room. Question is like, whose fault is it? Because the room just also completely died. So did they just go again?
I don't know. I think that the problem is the one that's at fault is probably just the engine at this point. Because it was just a nuke.
I guess we just go again, he says. Alright, so
yeah,
one of those situations where you might come across is part of the nature of online brackets or just playing online in general, which is always a beautiful segue to mention just support your locals, right? Where hopefully you're only having to deal with overheating PS5s or slightly below spec PCs, as opposed to just all kinds of shenanigans that goes on with the Strive netcode, which is held together by duct tape and willpower.
Agree. And also, I am curious, do you remember what's the name of that stage? Because I can't.
This one? Nope.
Chat, if you know, tell me, because I am also looking at it and saying, I don't remember that stage. And through the meantime, back to the game, we have Scripter just doing God's work, trying to zone out Volta, now getting in for the combo and still trying to solve the situation, but Slayer says no to 8, Master Hammer gets... I don't think that was meant to happen, but also, Gecko, thank you very much for that raid and everybody that's just following you. That
big raid indeed. So welcome everyone from Gecko Squirrel's channel. Hope you had a good stream. You all be so kind as to quickly claim a code that we much appreciated. We're on the final stretch of the bracket. I think we got about 20 left to get claimed through. As Raph is right now just keeping Volta Antares at arm's length here, just playing behind all the pool balls.
Yeah. Ooh, that was a bit too aggressive on Scripter's side, and now that grab back is not going to happen, forcing another burst, which means that Scripter can just go back on doing God's work, sending balls through the air and invoking YoKai to get the job done. 1-0.
control so far, indeed. Because like the one thing that's worrying about Venom, and I feel like this is just the perfect transition coming from this matchup in Xrd to Strive, is this character has a lot of control throughout the neutral, but so long as he's able to repeatedly just keep deploying the balls. But once Slayer gets in, right, there's not a whole lot of answers, especially with these reversals being I don't think they're true reversals in that nature to be able to just spend the 50 meter, having to only rely on system mechanics, right? It's decisions like these that Raph has to be very, very careful with.
Certainly. And but now Volta's finding the opening is just sending all the damage at Super Mappa. Gonna put Scritter through the ground, that's another big counter hit, side switch, pile driver loops, more than enough to send anybody through to hell and back, especially someone that's as frail as Venom.
Hey look, I plan to be a dumbass streak. Ooh, great backdash avoiding the it's late here. Now, once again, Raph in the position, just be able to hang back, control the space with all these active projectiles on the screen, but ultimately it's going to be Volta Antares that finds a really big counter hit here. Unfortunately drops the combo, but nevertheless has Scripted trapped in the corner. Good throw tech, but not out of the woods just yet. Trying to jump away, but keeps eating these close slashes to just keep tagging, bring him back down to the ground. The bite is on deck, but I think the touch is coming in clutch to prevent the universe counter, but nevertheless the 2H finds smart, spends 50 bar there to avoid being punished for the throw whiff. Raph now with the momentum burst, trying to keep Volta to the corner, but just snatches him out as a reaction to the dust.
Good reactions on Volta, just finding the most opportune moment to say, nah, you were trying to play a game. Emphasis on trying. Because that moment that was just unrelenting assault on the corner, where we're seeing Scritter just almost chilling because there was nothing that they could do. Man. I wouldn't like to hit that position.
The opener here for Raph, already keeping Volta trapped into the corner. Now, just gonna keep poking out with the stinger repeatedly here, see if yeah, finally finds an opportunity to jump out. And just Burst goes right back to business. Again, just stinger aiming to his heart's content. Now deploying out the Dark Angel, making sure to go air to air to deny a jump over opportunity, and once more finding himself back into the corner. Volta Antares quickly dropping the round here in game number 3.
Ooh, and big that's a big catch on Volta's side. Getting Half-Life out of Scritter. Good job, and now, well, back to doing God's work, but Volta's going to say no against the wall. Super mal punch.
That's a lot of damage. It's going to be tricky for Raph to make the comeback from here. Granted, it's possible. Finds some nice counter hit, but no major conversion, and with healthy Raph, I guess you could kind of just keep stinger aiming, because all that... Ooh, hold on. There it is, the big Mappa. All that Slayer could really do is just come closer. Otherwise, I couldn't do anything from that range.
More ball setting. Scritter ready to find the opening. Catches the Mappa, that's our full reset back to neutral. Big hits, I know the RC catches the burst. Full corner carry onto the corner, but that Slayer is not done until it's dead, and now it's dead.
And now it's done. Raph taking the lead here, 2-1. Looking pretty comfortable here in the Slayer matchup, which is, especially with the likes of Venom, you gotta be very composed, not lose your cool, be willing to continue your game plan, because if you start getting apprehensive and give the ever slightest gap for Slayer to just brute force his way through and start off his own game plan, then it's going to be a very hard time for the likes of Venom to recover from that and get back into a position where he can just stinger into his heart's content. But what is that? The jump back, air to air, catching out the dandy step follow-up. That's the burst from Volta. That's a big massive hammer to counter hit. Immediately the burst coming out from Raph, trying to just stinger aim, keep him locked into the corner. especially with the ball bouncing off the wall like that, it makes it for a very tricky time that Volta has to try and escape from the situation.
Exactly. We are just seeing the pressure that RAF can just throw against Volta. A wall of projectiles at some point, it appears. More stingers, more balls, more projectiles, send everything.
Good grip of damage here, just gonna try and push it a little further with the super as well. Missing about half HP, the current point. Now being close to the corner once again, we just start getting right back to the Stinger aim action with the Dark Angel. We've seen this interaction before. It crashed the service last time, but this time we survive. And immediately we get back to the RPS, which is 2 touches, now the third. Volta
Not him
gets
off.
thrown out of Master's Hammer.
Yeah, and this is not the first time they happen this series. We've already seen RAF catching Volta out of some step follow-up. This time, at least Volta is getting the round. But that was close, too close for comfort. And yeah, I agree. Everybody just spam book abuse. Volta was trying to break the server again, sending that super mappa. Okay, a little bit of zoning, doing God's work.
Ooh.
And yeah, Volta says no.
Good damage here. Chance now to tie up instead to jump in the power bunker, catch the backdash along with the RC to confirm it. Volta Antares is gonna bring it down to a game 5 position.
My, we are doing. Yeah, I think we are getting some of the hypest games we've seen in a while. Back to back. That's good. We've had five games. Four, five. Man, this one is fire.
Definitely, you can just see the levels to this, right, where RAF has to consistently just chip away at the health of Volta Antares here, whereas Volta just needs 1 or 2 solid hits to close out rounds, just to get to those positions. For either player, they are naturally opposed to one another. But here it is, we're starting seeing the big gambles, but the burst to deny it. One needs as much health as possible to try and push for a health advantage situation where Volta is desperate to make the approach, close the distance across the screen.
Yeah, certainly we've seen that the only way to approach is the JS or like this, but once again, we are seeing it rough, very much on point with those grabs, denying the hammers. Okay, Bishop at home is just going to send damage. Another Dark Angel, this time there's not going to be a back abuse, and it's going to be as clean as RAF can. That's a set point. That's a round point for RAF.
On deflex shield, very unfortunate timing. Hit by the blood-sucking universe, straight into the universe counter as well. Look at that damage. One good touch, but he immediately finds the mash on the cross-through Danny step there. Nevertheless, Volta getting right back into the action, but gets thrown out from the Master's Hammer. Pulled back in favor of RAF, the red RC trying to push the damage a little further. But the burst coming out to deny the potential wall break combo.
I believe that's been like the 5th time we've seen Master's Hammer and RAF just casually just grabbing them out of the air. And this, no, not enough, misses for a bit, and then the dust is going to be the killing blow.
That does it there. Scripter in RAF closing out 3-2, advancing on forward into that loser semis finals. Poised to face off against RubeePrison. But before we get to that, we're gonna have to return to our winners finalists who have been patiently waiting for their chance to play. Scarfed and Goose. And even before that, let's get back to claiming some of these match arena codes. We're at 19 remaining. So still quite a bit ahead of us with only, let's see, 1, 2,
7.
3, 4, maybe 5 sets remaining, which can go by in the blink of an eye if you're unprepared. So make sure to better be safe than sorry and claim these match arena codes, right? Exclamation mark match arena, head on over, hit the claim code button, sign in if you haven't done so already. And once you complete that process, you contribute 25 cents to the prize pool. Every little bit helps support these players that are coming in week after week, especially so close to the 2.0 where people would be forgiven to take a break from the game for the time being. But not on this SaltyEU Monday where 50 or so plus people are in attendance. So definitely let their efforts be appreciated with some of these code claims.
Yeah, I agree. It's for the players at this point. For the people that is just here having fun and do it. It's at this point it's your moral obligation.
It's your civic duty. At some point, we need to put the bounty out there for somebody who's familiar with just being very handy with programming as well as the Twitch API to effectively put the chat in Matcherino code claim only mode, right? So you don't get to interact unless you claim the code, for a lot of people it's probably fine. Actually, you know what? Take it a step further. Just black screen them, right? Until permanent ads, just ads running on loop until the Matcherino code has been claimed, something like that, right? Just to really twist the knife into them to.
No, codified, like the old Canal Plus or something like that. That they need to screen really hard if they want to, or just go there and claim that code. What do you think?
When they see the ads, they have to get up and shout McDonald's, and then the ad closes. Like that petition, or the petition, the patent from, I think Microsoft has that, where they were going to use the Connect to get you to engage with ads. So just like that, we'd like you to engage with the stream, with the people that are working hard here, to claim some Matcherino codes before we have to take drastic measures to force a call to action upon all of you.
But hey, both our protagonists are locked and loaded onto the platform, both ready for launch. And like, oh, we have
Words
some
for the production,
yeah, XD indeed. Thank you very much from Mika-chan Typhoon. 169. Nice.
XP. Nice. Dude, Koji does the same in Xrd, where he just donates enough for his contribution to be 6-7. Like cents. It's grown man. That's a grown man, by the way.
That's my point. Koji's a grown man.
Alrighty. Winners finals. This one is really important for that winners final seed in grand finals. And already things kicking off beautifully for Scarf with the burst bait. A lot of damage on Goose's health bar.
And then punish out of that fire slice. That's a full rope combo onto the wall. Not enough to kill, there was no super. But Goose is bleeding life points by the second. Now he gets a breather, gets a hit, gets a confirm onto the super, but that's not enough damage done to Chipp. There's still some life. And then his final setup. Scarf is just going to block it. That was trying to bait something, I don't know. But that's enough for the round.
Scarf still keeping up the pressure now. Back to shimmying action, ready to play around that far slash button, just like we see. Big counter hit. Gonna be the burst of Goose. Now trying to find some way to stop the approach, but committing a little too hastily to the 6K. The 5HS punish him along with the RC for the conversion. Drops the combo, unfortunately, but still has the rope set ready to go. Frame trap, big counter hit. Can he finish the play here with the Zanzenroga?
And Zanzenroga, yes! Invoke the red clouds of death. 1-0.
So far, we haven't really seen we've seen some really dominating rounds, but I don't think anybody has been 3-0'd. At least it's the top 16, it would seem. And between these two players, we'll see if that's able to be kept alive. Though how confidently Scarf has been playing in this first game does raise a bit of concern, but at the same time, it's been quite a while since these two got to play, at least in terms of tournament sets, right? Having to wait through the losers advance.
Yes, truly, but Scarf is ready for rock and roll. That's another big sequence. Really going for that Kagebushin no Jutsu Super. The correct name, I don't know. I think I've never learned it, so that is your name for now. There's a lot of damage dealt onto Goose, which is trying to find the opening, trying to get some damage done. They managed to get a hit. Full sequence, gets the counter hit. Scarf against the wall, takes the grab, but Goose say no. Get grounded, my friend.
Oh, double counter hit, big 2D confirm coming out here, going straight back into the Zanzenroga. Is it going to be enough damage to kill? Still has 50 meter at the tail end. Should not be enough, so we're going to get the RC instead, but trying to bait out the first there from Goose. Ultimately resigning to just one final interaction to take the lead in this game. Playing for footsies and there just like that. One whiffed 6P, might have been a hard read attempt there from Goose, but ultimately getting punched by the run of 5K. Scarf already claiming the early burst here, and yet again the punish, letting up on the momentum at all here with the rope set combo. Crazy mix of good blocks by Goose.
Good blocks and manages to get out of there almost on it, but Scarf is just going to be way more aggressive, way more tricky. Forcing another big counter hit that's going to be probably more than enough. A couple of big loops. Zanzenroga, as you said, my man, that is just a 2-0 for Scarf.
Yeah, I've seen Scarf do this many Zanzenrogas in a set before. Like typically you find him going for the wall break super just because of, you know, how these rounds typically tend to play out. Really pressed for resources. So you're going to have to keep those looping knockdowns going along with the pulse meter bonus. But in this case, seems to be doing plenty of damage up front before wall break situations to just be able to cash out the 50 into the Zanzenroga for the kill. And now it's going to be the question of, are we going to buck the trend where we haven't had a 3-0 just yet? Can Goose... Oh, hold on, the Sin swap.
I've noticed that, and that is what... That is the Hail Mary if I've ever seen one. Saying, that's not working for me, I need something else, I feel comfortable on Sin, and I think probably more importantly, or something like, or in the vein, meterless reversal. That DP can be a bone, also curse, depending on how you use it. But...
Ooh, speaking of curse, there it is. It'll be bursting out immediately though before the damage gets a bit too much. Those causes pressure, just like that, able to find the DP through the sequence. Going to go into the blocked super.
But still managed to get out of there. Almost unscathed, only spending the meter. Gets a very nice empty jump grab. And Scarf is on blocking duty. You don't want to be there now. Gets the drill, gets the side switch. Rope has been late. Against the wall, Kagebunshin, get that wall break.
I'm starting to see a little bit more of how the meter typically gets spent here on Chipp. The dive kick, trying to swap out to the corner. Both players are trading places to not be the one with their back towards the wall. Being able to whip punish. Red RC tries to push damage a little further, finds the rope set. Having enough of the 6HS. Final touch here to be put on set point. The BRC forward immediately to the backdash. Has to be very careful to try to dance around the range with the 2D, catching the Elphelt there. That is going to be set point here for Scarf. Burst available for Goose, so at least has one do-over if things start off rough just like that. That's going to be the end of resources. Only meter left to be claimed, but he is baited straight into the massive, massive punish. Doesn't quite get the super here, so no hard knockdown.
No hard knockdown, no use of any additional resources. Goose is going to get Axelista deflection. If Scarf allow it, I think Scarf is not going to allow it against the wall. Zanzenroga, that's enough, I believe. Let's see, there are red clouds, that's enough. 3-0. If you were asking for a quick game, this is the one. My god. Scarf just said, it's getting late, I need to sleep. Time to speedrun this shit.
Fantastic work there by Scarf, straight into that winner's side spot of Grand Finals. Now begs the question of who are we going to see be able to claim that loser side seat to challenge him, as we're going to go towards our loser semi-finalist, Scripter, aka RAF, against RubeePrison. Winner of that to face off against the recently demoted Goose, and then after, the loser side will be determined. So while we're getting prepared for that, make sure to claim these codes. We're heading into the twilight of the bracket. Not many sets remaining, so don't miss out on your opportunity to support these players, right? !matchreno. Grab yourself that link, head on over to the website, hit the claim code button, sign in if you haven't done so already. And once you complete that process, you'll contribute 25 cents to the prize pool. Every little bit helps, and it goes a long way to supporting these players. We're coming out here week after week to play some epic Guilty Gear Strive. For free.
But we need to wait because I think someone forgot to tell Scarf they need to get out of the station. Slot is open. Ruby is there. And Raf is straight up going for the soul. No chaff, no nothing. We are buzzing.
I think it ties into kind of what you were discussing, Elphelt's strengths, when talking about the matchup going into Lisper's Goldlewis, where I think hold on.
Yep.
Wait, maybe Raph hopping off the setup might be. Maybe we'll see the Venom yet.
No, Sin.
Okay.
That's not the one I was expecting. I was with you. That was either Venom or Soul because we've already seen Soul. Sin is completely out of left field.
Everyone's got
For
a
me, at
pocket
least.
up here, it seems, these days.
Yeah, the Kisk family always being in somebody's pocket.
Kai, unfortunately, is kind of missing from all of that, but Forward pressure looking pretty good, trying to play around this far slash. Though with the popularity of Sin due to his strength, definitely means that RubeePrison has had an abundance of practice just like that. Be able to challenge that far slash with the 16. Still though, with the Hawk Baker can interact between some of these scarier frame trap situations, but ultimately just gets caught out by the grenade. A nice little combo from RubeePrison. Tipped off here with the satchel deployed. Potentially causing for a very scary mix-up, or at the very least forced to hold still, ultimately committing a little too early there. So gets hit by the second portion of the DP, but both players are interacting back and forth very quickly.
Really good one. And Ruby is just sending in the herd. The pressure is unrelentless. Couple of big fireballs, and that's first blood for RubeePrison. That scene, as of right now, is not paying as much dividends as one would expect, wouldn't you agree? I say as of right now, I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I am not an oracle.
Well, I mean, RubeePrison's Elphelt has been quite heavy on the momentum, right? Once the Vortex starts, it's very difficult for people to get out, as well as being able to get some really strong call-outs here against reversal actions. So that might be something that's getting Scripted a little bit off guard. Hard to say.
Yeah, I agree. Only one game is not enough of a proof for any good scientific evaluation. At least another one to be more or less certain. Let's see if Raf thinks like us. And that's going to be another same one to see what's happening, or that's a character change. That's a character change onto Soul.
Yeah, Soul definitely makes a bit more sense for Raph here, considering that even though, you know, the kit has some similarities, the DP, not the same range or conversion potential, just the way that Raph likes to pilot Soul is so far different that I think the more honest play that he's trying to go for here with the Sin just doesn't suit him too well.
I think there's a point that you all have to put your brain in autopilot and say "Unga bonga, go damage," and Soul is just going to give that to you. And look at that, that was a moment that you put your brain onto the oil, let it fly a little bit, and just sending it. 6-edge counter hit round start. Half-life out from a single hit. There's another combo against the wall. Tyrant Rave. Big damage. That's nasty from R.E.V.O.
Very strong start indeed. Close slash catching some kind of movement option. Not able to finish the play just yet, but nevertheless, the run up 6B is going to do the trick here, making it a quick 1-1 here, just off the rip. One of those moments where you just got to confidently believe in your strongest picks, despite how the matchup theory might play itself out. As you'll often be surprised with what you're able to pull off. And R.E.V. with a very bold statement here, just showing how capable his soul is into what has been quite the momentum demon coming out from RubeePrison with the Elphelt. Oh, interesting revolver attempt there, possibly looking for the frame kill, but timing slightly off. Caught by the low, but no confirm. Backdash caught out by the subsequent the Rekka. The DP baited. The burst bait attempt, but the delay burst is going to be clutching out the situation for R.E.V., but nevertheless hasn't quite escaped the corner, but the throw with is going to be a big punish. R.E.V. once again trying to bait the burst here from RubeePrison before committing too heavily into bigger damage, looking a little too fanciful with his air options. Some conversion issues from RubeePrison being made up for by the fact that DPs are still consistently being baited out.
That's a good point for Rubee. Yep, I need to start baiting those. R.E.V. is just so eager to send them. That's a lot of damage locked on those two moves from Soul's arsenal. There's a way that you just send it. And better game plan than the first Soul interaction from Rubee. I don't think that was a download, just getting used to the brand of bullshit that Soul can throw you. I know that you're used to because you've played a lot of Souls, but everybody's just a wee bit different, so need to my god, that's beautiful from Rubee. Gets a confirm against the wall. That's not enough to kill. That 6 edge is not enough. You need a little bit more rough spot for Scripter.
Nice little fuzzy with the BRC setup as well. However, I think this might get him here.
Yeah, that does.
Yeah, they'll do it. As Rubee is able to take the lead back here, so kind of caught off guard by the soul from Scripter, but ultimately it does boil down to the same things where Sin came short. These reversals being baited out, allowing for quite a grip of damage coming out from Rubee's end.
Also, PSX Kyle, I thank you very much for that raid. Welcome to the losers semi-finals of this bracket. Skitter versus Rubee. That's one for Rubee in a very even match. We've seen a card change already, and that Solid Spade is working way better than that Silm before.
Kyle, you ready to claim a code? Make sure to claim a code. Hammering down here with the pressure, very fast RC straight into the low, difficult to react to here. Time Rave for the hard knockdown needs one final solid touch, and I think at this health point, Prison just tries to find whatever comeback potential she can. Although given the burst gauge differences, right, she's not too eager to possibly use hers. Whereas the longer she makes this comeback, hold on, Wild Assault definitely committing now to trying to win the round and put herself at set point, but she's gonna send it with the bringer here, which, you know, as I was about to say, the longer this round goes on, and if Scripted does end up finding the final touch, there is a lot of burst gauge back. However, it's DP baited, thrown into the corner yet again. The burst is close to coming back on deck, but a little bit of throwing Lupin, Street Fighter style.
Just a little bit in melee going for that satchel. Let bombs go away. 2k, and there is that gunshot. We are tied up. Rubee is on round point.
Oh, doesn't quite get the full confirm there. Few straight hits. What a throw from the Fafnir attempt there. Now it's RubeePrison's turn to try and press some buttons. But has to be careful, of course, for that Soul DP. Maybe less fearless in her approach. As always, just finding these openings off of these high-lows into the wall splat, and didn't have the meter, unfortunately, to get the satchel charge. Whereas, look at the full stick of butter on Raph's side. The deflex shield, not getting wall thrown there. That's very interesting.
I was not expecting that one. Okay, back to reality, back to the game. Raph, better life, that's a burst, that's last use of a defensive mechanic. Ruby still having access to their one, lower life both players, XP, and the DP at the end! That DP is connecting, which means that we are going to game 5!
Bet it all on that final DP. Is definitely a very impressive mentality to commit all the way through, because so far, you know, RubeePrison has been demonstrating the patience to be able to defend and bait these DPs, but to try and rock for it there in the last possible interaction is does take nerves of steel. But at the very least, Raph is now rewarded with a Game 5 position. Both of them vying for a chance to face off against Goose in the Losers Finals, excuse me. We're kicking things off here with some blinding mix coming out from RubeePrison.
Certainly doing good damage onto Raph. Those 6 Ps, 6 H's are going to get blocked. The first one, the second one at least. Now it's okay to into the Roman. Blocks the burst. That's very, very good for Ruby. Going to get the Weather Soul onto the wall. No super, no nothing, just raw damage. Get that positive. Only one hit and gets the hit. Only one more round for Ruby.
5k to check the revolver. Pretty good spot for Ruby here. Already has that 50% burst, so access to deflect shield and wild assault. Has Raph trapped in the corner. We see the IBs, but the XP forcing them back. Now sets up the cross up yet again. No worries about putting yourself in the corner. Elphelt has a multitude of ways to swap that around quickly, and now with the satchel charge, he's gonna get to just the bare final interaction. The burst is available. Raph, the last breath here, does find the bringer. Puts her into the corner, trying to bait out some kind of option. The PRC keeps the pressure running, back into the way. But the DP is baited, is enough to find a kill here for RubeePrison. It will be a very resounding closing 3-2 for RubeePrison, moving on into that losers finals to face off against Goose for the rematch, which came down to a final game, final round, final interaction situation. Will she be able to make the difference now to go into the grand finals to face off against Scarfed?
My god, that we are going. I think we're going completely off script a little bit.
Off script?
I mean, technically, according to the seeding?
Hey, seedings is but a suggestion.
I know. But that suggestion was putting Ruby on 10th. Top 3 guaranteed.
Complain to your local ace, slave to his elo cheat. His elo
Yeah.
cheat.
Elo cheats at some
Elo
point.
cheat. Elo hacks.
But hey,
Free elo hacks download today.
only from CF. Yeah. Opa. Usually top 16 won't be from the Elo side. Well, your skill today is quite a bit of.
He admits it's a skill issue. So,
Yep.
you know, humble TO, make sure, you know, to thank your humble TO to claim the last 10 remaining Match Reno codes. Support these players in their endeavors as we're getting into our final 2 or 3 sets, depending if we go to the reset. So,
Yeah, exactly.
don't be lacking. Head on over. There's the link in chat. Hit the claim code button. Sign in if you haven't done so already. Once you complete that process, you'll contribute 25 cents to the prize pool. Every little bit helps. Supporting these players who come in every Monday to play some Strive for you. It's free entertainment, so you should be able to claim just as well the free codes.
Yeah, because as far as I know, 100 something is like 10 times the amount of codes that we have. So you just need to to get all of you more or less in cahoots and say, okay, we are 10, yes. Has any of you claimed the code? No, okay, you go claim it. It doesn't matter who does it, because if that just happens, that's going to be 10 codes claimed and we are going to be done with the codes. Only 10 codes remaining and we are going on to losers finals. Goose versus Ruby, and Goose is right now repping a sin. My.
I think that was from the
Probably, yeah, from
last game
before.
against Scarfed, where just trying to see the Sin do something.
Yeah, there it is. There's them Johnnies.
The tried and true main here. So we'll see if either player has what it takes to take it over the other here. Goose coming in at a very clutch final situation to be able to overcome RubeePrison, but with the losers run behind her, the consistent back-to-back games is going to be enough of a warm-up to be able to just overcome her little bracket demon.
Johnny versus Elphelt. Duel 1. Let's rock.
A little crawl on the Council of 3 AWT Finals type moment.
Goated moment, if you ask me.
Truly. Big opening, he's gonna go for the burst, doesn't want to hand over too much momentum to Goose, but immediately checks the advance there with the counter hit, confirm off the misfire straight into the super, pushing the damage lead, as well as just getting a more screen position, the 2K into the tick throw. We're down to that final to action, big counter hit. That's gonna be quite a comfortable round for Goose to kick off the set.
Yeah, that's the point of Goose just saying, I need to confirm damage. The moment that I see, okay, hit, push as much damage as possible, I don't care about resources, spend everything. You don't need to leave anything left, nothing in reserve, all gas, no breaks. But Ruby, in contrast, there is a grab onto the wall, trying to mix up Goose. But Goose manages to get out. Oh, the fireball ricochet is going to take them on the back head against the wall again. No super, but that's a good chunk of damage. Even though Goose has full resource available.
Health has to go somewhere. Into the meter it goes, as immediately finds a ton of damage in return, as well as the wall break. Only the positive meter bonus money, trying to fight fish for the anti-air. The 6 be able to go to the misfire, but still suffering that chip damage, and you can just see Goose letting it rip to try and find that final touch here, claiming that first game against RubeePrison.
And I am on my ideas that Goose needs to just full send. There is no need to. I am going to get some hits, break wall maybe. I'm still going to get that 50 tension back just in case. Nah. If you can get your super, get a wall break. Don't even think about saving up for a yellow or something like that. It's not going to be worth it. What, are you going to take to send yellow for Rider or something like that? That Ruby is just going to immediately roll you over again? No, just send it. That's the way to do it. Like that against the wall and kill.
RubeePrison really committed to down backing in that situation, patiently waiting for a time to strike, but it never came. And you can see the slow advance forward, careful to not accidentally get hit by the misfire, but unfortunately gets hit by something even far scarier. Trapped in the corner now, the BRC, good block, slowed down, holding it still. Trying to go for the 6P, but the low misfire coming out instead, and Goose keeps the advance so confidently. Into the instant overhead, no burst from RubeePrison, as we're going to go into the game 3 off yet another perfect there by Goose.
Yeah. That all gas no breaks. And that's embodiment probably Ruby not managing to find those moments. Only one game that was more of a back and forth, not finding it. Goose is just saying, I am just going to go hard. Just sending it, full damage. no stops. We are seeing it playing completely without a complete regard of their own whale safety. There's a boost as much, but then just send it. Gets the grab onto the wall, sends the car, but RuBee is going to get out of there for now. There's a couple of hits, but the enemy is fighter.
Okay. Good sequence here. RC upwards, wants to push it a little further. Trying to go for the kill here instead of one final interaction off the satchel, and she will find it. When did Goose swap to the fire flag?
I mean, we all be pirating, yay.
Yar. Yar.
Yar.
Ooh, the OTG hit. Unfortunately, not able to get the conversions off the grenade. Quite a massive drop, and now a big counter hit to follow suit afterwards. Goose makes the most of it, putting her into the corner. Unfortunately, doesn't quite hit the TK misfinder there, but nevertheless, able to push the health advantage even further in his favor. RubeePrison, despite all expresses on forward, the red RC pushes a little bit more, bit of damage here. Trying to chase down the 6P, doesn't quite get the grenade, there's the gold burst. Decent situation to go into the next round should you lose it, but YRC fights back.
Fights it. And RuBee still trying to get a lot of use of those 6Ps, managing to at least be safe from a fair amount of interactions, but that run-up grab, there's nothing that you can do at that point. Set point for Goose. RuBee has burst. That's the only saving grace out of that RuBee didn't spend that resource for nothing, for naught. There's still a chance for RuBee to claw back onto this series and start with getting one game out of Goose.
Oh, big 6P counted. RuBee needs to be mindful of her HP pool, but I think at this point, down to the final pixel, can she find an opportunity to use the burst? GG's and Chad. That's going to be the end. Straight to bed she goes. 3-0 for Goose going into the grand finals.
Johnny wins.
I know it's a little bit, but that was a really good matchup from Goose, just showing off the power that still resides onto that kid, the amount of damage that Johnny can throw up out of almost a whim. That's straight counter hit into full conversion onto the wall, break it either with card or just Ensenga, it doesn't matter, that's a lot of damage there. But now, final boss Scarfed.
Yeah, this one's going to be tricky for Goose, especially having to make it come back from loser's side, because what sent him here in the first place was Scarfed in that winner's finals at 3-0. So to change that at all, right? Like, first of all, he's going to have to find a way to put a dent into Scarfed and get a game on the board, let alone 3 for the reset and then 3 more for the tournament win. It's going to be quite the road ahead for Goose. A very, very challenging position considering how confident the play was from Scarfed, right? Having to even swap off the Johnny into the Sin, consistently ending rounds with a comfortable Zanzen Roga, right? Not having to use the wall break super, I think, only wants it to come out.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts. Heaven or hell.
Okay, once again, kicking things off with the Johnny. Last time it didn't go too hot, but maybe off of the heels of a game this time without being iced in the winner's side, waiting through the loser's portion to advance on forward for his play opportunity again. Might be able to come out swinging here, or we're going to catch a repeat, starting off things with his longer normals, but immediately Scarf finding the first touches, gets the rope set, good blocks in the mix, and what an air throw to deny further usage of the rope.
Yeah, I think that game against RuBee was at least a good dose for the mental on Goose's side at least. a shot of confidence saying, yeah, I can do that. This. So it's going to be on Scarf to completely break down Goose and say, nah, I am the truest player here. I am the one that you need to fear. Because right now, yeah, it's a little bit... Goose is finding those counter hits, finding and exploiting them. A good pair of those, both the air grab and that last one.
I don't think Goose was without rounds in the previous set. It just didn't have the closing power, though. The way this one's been piling up, it definitely seems to be a little bit better in his favor. Break the wall off the super here. Catching that positive meter bonus, as well as that hard knockdown. A very advantageous position, but nevertheless, the Beta Blade comes out, and we're immediately going to be bursting to deny momentum from Scarf. The overhead blocked out as we're going to go into RC to make it safe. Traverse all the way into the corner. With the close slash of Bare there, it's still available for Scarf. Does end up pressing it very late towards the end with the 2P catch there. Pressing a little too late after the card set. And Goose does start things off with that dent that we're talking about.
Yeah, I think it's the moment that Goose said, I am going to play... Similarly as against Ruby, Goose said, I am going to be playing as aggressive as I can. No need to reserve anything. If I am blocking, I am dying. Just sending. I think it's a point that just sending it is becoming the correct answer. Why do you want to block in this situation? Literally, why? Because you're going to die. Spoiler alert, it's a fucking chip. You're going to die at some point because they are going to mix you three-way Steel Wednesday.
See how this pans out further for Scarf. Find an approach, little Rekka action, confirming to the overhead. That's going to be the first from Goose to deny the momentum. Doesn't want to be trapped into the corner against Scarf here. Very dangerous opponent, of course, to be in that position. You can see how eager he is to keep him there. Because 6 being cutting straight to the super here for the wall break. Hard knockdown and positive meter bonus to keep on the advance. Keep up the pressure. Trying to go for the throw, but Goose is narrowly escaping. Momentum burst wants to keep him stuck in this corner. Narrowly doesn't catch that. Footsie action that gets a whip punish. Lets up the rope. Contact Air JS, no throw P this time, and we go for the Suns and Rogue on 50 meter to spare. This thing's not pan out.
And things are going to pan out at the end. If you haven't that much meter, it's completely... the word, either way, that was meant to be. There was no chance in hell that Goose will escape out of there with their life still on.
Beta Blade. Oh, the follow-up catching there on the backdash. US into the wall break super. Nice grip damage already being dealt here against Goose with the hard knockdown. Positive meter bonus to follow. Mashes just out of the car into the overhead. So Scarf willing to challenge now with the life lead that he has, right? Should he face a counter hit, has a bit to spare to suffer through the mistakes, but with this conversion, goes yet again into the Zanza and Roga, and this time we should be seeing the Clouds of Doom as game number 2 goes to Scarf.
And there... And 180 shift in this battle. Goose is still trying to be aggressive, still trying to be the one who's on top, but Scarf said, I am just going to counter hit you and you have nothing to do.
You got nothing to do, nothing to complain about. Going to game 3, now it's going to be the question of, are we seeing a bit more of a back and forth? Scarf, you know, taking that game 1, warmed up a little bit, back online, now ready to just dominate once again.
I need to say those. Right now, Scarf is locking Goose into the corner, which manages to find a get out of jail card, gets out of there, the rules are reversed, and Scarf is the one that's on blocking duty. Remember, you don't want to block in this matchup, neither wants to.
He's not letting up at all. It's really on a tear here, starting off things very strong. Game number 3, the burst is still available. 50% burst gauge, immediately spent on the Wild Assault. Straight into the wall splat. The combo pretty simple. The damage is not too crazy, but it's a positive meter bonus that Scarf was after. However, Goose going likewise. But this time with the hard knockdown to follow as well next to the positive meter bonus, and just dropping Scarf, putting him into the corner. Red RC pushes damage even further. doesn't get the hard knockdown, doesn't have the meter for it. Stops on the first Vena, plus 100 meters, sends it to super straight away. PRC forces an entry here to get started on pressure, the backdash. However, both players not able to get a hit on either. The PRC trying to call out a dash forward, but just finds the air-to-airs. However, Scarf with the quick confirm. Put him in the corner, but the throw is going to go in Goose's favor. Taking the lead in the set, 2-1.
Yeah, Scarf, I think, threw the ball a little bit there. That super was completely unnecessary. Was just trying to catch Goose touching? Yes, but I think Chipp has better tools out of neutral for that. Which is better than just road dogging a super.
Duel 1.
True. Headed to game 4 now, complete reversal from what we saw before. Speaking of reversals, one going to go completely whiffed and unpunished. Scarf getting away with murder here, but solid defense from Goose. Warning with a light punish. Back into that aggressive pressure game that we've seen work out so wonderfully, but yet again the DP sent out, but no punish.
No, stupid interaction with that running kick. This space is a little bit too much, Goose, which makes it impossible to punish that Beta Blade. Not something that you would expect of a move that's so nasty to deal with, that is going to have an Achilles heel this stupid. And now Sansen Runga from Scarf, that's not going to be enough to kill, there's not enough escalation for that, but...
A little tap dust Hail Mary at the end there to be able to take the first round in game number 4. Scarf now looking to bring it to a game 5 to try and close out the tournament before a reset. However, Goose is never going to let this be as easy for him as it was in the winners finals. First coming out there from Scarf, finding some beautiful counter hits here in these brief pauses, daring either player to be the first one to press.
And the first one to press is going to be Goose, that's just going to say, counter him with Misfire, break them walls. Okay, trying to provoke an error from Goose. That's not going to connect. Purple just to save that one. Gets the grabs, but there is no full combo out of there. Scarf gets out, and that really is going to get punished. We are going to a situation where Goose is on a full reset point.
The final round right here, the Beta Blade coming out, creating a moment of reprieve. We see the gold burst, an immaculate air throw into the BRC, deflect shield, creating space. The cut barely not reaching the card for the guard crush. Nevertheless, Goose still finds the entry, finds the damage to go with it. Isn't going to get the hard knockdown, but with the life lead that he has, he's in a very solid position. The JK hitting from behind.
Counter hit for Scarf. That's going to be a wall slam. Going for the Shadow Super, not going for the Sunset Ronda. We want to break that wall now. Goose has full bar of tension. That's dangerous. Let's see what Scarf is going to get out of their chest, and that's going to be enough because the burst is going to be stuffed, which means we're going for the reset with a 3-1 nonetheless.
Very bold statement here from Goose. Demonstrate that the winners finals was a bit of a fluke. It was all data, right? To take those 3 games, get a little bit of a download on Scarf, and prepare for the reset here. Now, both players in a position to take the tournament, and the do-over for Scarf has been revoked. Now it's do or die, as they have to make every last interaction count.
Yep. That's completely night and day from both their games. First game, Scarf just running wild through nil go. And now Goose out of that series with Ruby. That was just a motivational starting point, saying, I know I can do it, I am just going to send it. And then we have a 3-1 forcing the reset.
Mankind knew that they cannot change.
It'll be a question of, can Goose bring it home?
Reflecting on themselves.
If things go the same way that it went in the grand finals, it's a strong argument for that he can pull it off and starting things off already, baiting out the beta blade and getting some nice counter hits in between there, as well as a life lead. Has the burst from the Scarf, but now back towards the corner, has to survive the onslaught here before giving the wall break there. Gonna hop to just use the burst instead. And the PRC instant overhead. The card set just keeps trying to send it with these cards, these cuts. Holy Scarf to the corner, but we just see him pull the trigger, approach on close to 6P. Doesn't hit the 6HS, unfortunately, but there's the counter hit nevertheless to pick up Suns and Roga to finish off the plate with the first round going to Scarf's way.
Yeah, getting that first blood. Let's see if that's going to announce the tone of this reset, because we've seen it before, Goose managing to get that ball rolling, complete snowballing out of control for Scarf. But we haven't seen that much from Grand Final for Scarf, and that's the second time at least that we've seen that Better Lane completely punished by his final.
Could be the case there. Scarf now on the back foot. Not really been given too many opportunities to try and make this comeback. PRC, and again, just setting up for the tick throw. Goose tying up the rounds. Both players vying for that first blood, that first game. The burst situation pretty even to one another. Damage pretty light, but it's going to be spending it on the deflex shield before it comes alive. And also the wild assault. However, Scarf does have another 50 to spend on the wild assault or deflex shield should the situation require it, but trying to confirm into the super wall break here, so that's the hard knockdown with the positive meter bonus, being able to generate potentially burst back in this round.
And remember everybody, the positive bonus Chipp is one of the most dangerous characters on the whole game. Even though that Goose managed to get a tick through, managed to get a bit of a retrieve from the amount of punish that Scarf can manage to conjure. Sticky situation for both players, Burst and Goose. Full tension on Scarf. No more burst. Kage Gunshin, there's a chance to make it safe, and there's to get into the Rega. There's a reset. Reset is going to go nowhere. Everybody back to square one, and there it is. The delay, the shimmy, the far slash makes it. And that's a first game for Scarf.
Very, very close there. It's by just a hair's width to be able to win out that final interaction. This is the kind of high-level play that we like to see here, where both players are operating in such layers that there's patience involved, you know, just the fear to look at one another and just consider, like, who dares to press first. Because concede over like that and kind of just wait out the response from the opponent. It takes a lot of understanding of how they like to pilot, but we're still going to be sending out those beta blades despite some repeated failures of function before.
Okay, Scarf is going to get something done. Yeah, big block on the burst that was pretty much there, and just break it. Deny resources from Goose, get the positive bonus.
Whoa.
No, doesn't matter, but my god, Goose, what are you doing?
That one had to be a wish. That close slash hitting so laid on the air dash over. I think it just caught like the very last pixel of a hurt box there. Back throw Winston working out nicely here for Goose, being able to recover that round here in his favor. Now taking the lead in game number 2. The burst situation looking pretty even between these two. It's going to be Scarf nevertheless, starting things off aggressively, pushing him into the corner. Holds the deflex shield. Still hasn't been able to escape his corner position just yet.
Not yet, a couple of good throws for Scarf. Okay. Keeping the pressure ongoing against the wall. Yep, just send the damage. Good super, good knockdown. We all know what follows. Positive bonus cheat, that's dangerous. Get mixed. Onto the next one with a perfect. I think it's the first one we've seen on this reset grand finals. Probably.
It could be, but Scarf not letting up at all. That's going to be the burst out from Goose. Doesn't want to see where the damage goes with that rope still active. Gets a big counter hit, close slash. Would be a nice grip of damage. Deploys the rope straight into the super. Try to put a little bit of extra while you can. Hard knockdown with the positive meter bonus here. Further cement the situation. K off a blade.
Ooh! That was on the edge of the 4 box. Goose managing to catch Scarf with that J, but Scarf is just going to say, nah, I'll gab ya. And just run at Goose to kneel for Scarf. Out of a sticky situation at the end there. Right.
Bless you.
Thank you. Scarf being fancy big couple of rounds. Gonna get another knockdown, and I think mental starting to weigh on Goose's side.
Oh my god, big counter hit here on the low finder there. Dropping towards the corner, but man, he's gonna have to ride it on the razor's edge here, especially not being able to score the hard knockdown here. Final attraction to that 100 bar, but the invul not enough, and just gets run straight head first into the 5k. Both players now on the air throw from Goose here. Both players with the burst going into that next round.
Yeah, at the end, I think the feat is stronger than the super. Who would have thought? And now, okay, Scarf. Good combos gonna put. Yep, there it is. Another one. And again, Goose against the wall, breaks it, positive bonus. I think this song we've already seen a couple of 1,000 times before. Full sit on the air, another one. Yeah, no. I have to admit, cheap combos, when done right, are very beautiful to just watch. Experience them! Well, that's for someone else.
Back for Scarf now on tournament point. It's going to matter very deeply here for Goose. At least both players have the burst available, so Goose does have that do-over, especially a way to deny the pressure, but they're going to trade into one another, which is not too ideal for the character like Chipp, who is on that lower defense. Just make sure that these interactions are clean and in his favor consistently.
Something like that. That super is not going to connect. Again, it's not going to connect. Those alpha blades are not evading a couple of suppers, just saying, nah, I am not going to be there. You may try to kill me, but nah, I'm not there. And 1, 2, 3. Scarf is going to be crowned once again as your salty champion.
Needed to get into the swing of things, it seemed, there with a resounding 3-0. Oh my goodness, the double K alpha blade call out there. 2 times the super as well. You can't make this stuff up. This is amazing. Well, with that, we've come to the conclusion of this week's bracket. So, once again, congratulations to Scarf for winning SaltyEU Guilty Gear Strive number 164. And of course, GG's and well played to everyone else who participated in the bracket. Yeah, I think at this point, make sure to claim in the final match Reno codes, as I think Ace is preparing the top 8.
Yeah, and there are 8 codes, so should not take you more than half a minute. If we, to be honest, there's almost 80 people on chat. I know that lots of you already claimed those codes. A lot of you are already tired of we telling you to claim those codes, but there's a moment that you should just do it. Seriously. Go there, do it. It's not going to take you much time. It's free. Why do you need to be so obtuse? Just go there and claim those.
It's true. It's true. This should weigh heavier on your conscience, not claiming the codes. Hoping justice for Goose. Well, I think it's that point where we do a little bit of shilling. So, from my side, I'd say make sure to look out for the offline season again, right? The AWT having concluded last weekend, but as of course, they immediately followed it up by announcing the new tour season. So definitely, I think a lot of the familiar hotspots that you saw that had AWT qualifiers and points will be there yet again. Safe to say, I think Hessen Crash already has that. And what else was announced? There was Hessen Crash, VSF for sure, also big points there. So be on the lookout. Looking forward to seeing a lot of the FGC people offline again. And speaking of offlines, in the Netherlands, if you're in that area, Zero Fundamentals hosts monthly for now. We're still in the testing phase, but we do host a monthly event at the final Saturday of the month, sorry. And we are looking at doing a little strive bracket here in preparation for, or like just after the 2.0 release. So everybody get in there, work in a little bit. Hopefully by then, we will have determined if the patch is goated or flushed, and hopefully it is goated, because it would definitely be nice to push for a more stable strive scene in the Netherlands.
And on my end, there's nothing much I can add. I always recommend you to go to your locals, go to offlines if you are able to. It's a blast, even if you're going to bomb out O2 of a tournament. You can just be there, have fun. Highly recommended. But for me, not much. Big offline was this weekend because in Varna we had the big EU community series for 2xKO, which was not the important part. The most important part was that we were playing a lot of Garou. My god, I played a lot of Garou that day. Goated. But yes, go to your locals, just have fun, and see you next time.
Yep, we'll go to Neos. Just started streaming, is hosting some viewer first to twos, so perfect place. Want to get some good matches in. It's over there. We'll be back tomorrow with Xrd, so yeah, not much else to say. Have a good Monday evening, have a good Tuesday. GG's.
GG's.